Yes. It's fine.
Thank you for tuning into this live breakdown on the internet.
Yes,
what are we doing?
this isn't a Game of Santos episode. This is an intervention.
This is an
Oh, are we
intervention.
live?
Yeah.
Give a
Now we're
follow
live.
if you are as amused by Aaron's state of mind as we are.
The series of tubes that is the internet
How-
sprung a leak
how
there
are
for a
we-
minute, but
How are we almost at a hype train right now? What's been happening?
hype train.
When you stay ready, you ain't got to get
Oh,
ready.
because we had Taco Master resubscribed, and
And
Dreamy
Dreamy.
resubscribed. So you know we've just got things going on. They're just so happy to see us finally online after almost 30 minutes. Yo, Zoom had an update, and I didn't realize that it would reshift my entire universe. So I had to fix that. And then we had internet problems, so there's that. And then Adam is currently doing a single man's karaoke in his room, so there's that. And I
hear
think
that whisper yelling. It's lovely.
yeah, it's fine. People just love y'all. That's what it is, Dreamy.
Is that water? or
Dreamy. You know, if it is, then I need some. Please, just pass it over. Just, Marcus, you're. Wait, no, I
You
guess
need
where Galil, hand it up to Sol. Sol will hand it to North. North will hand it to Iskra. Iskra can hand it to me. Okay. We'll just
Okay, so
just move it up.
Diagonal. Directly
just
diagonal. and
no,
which hand?
up.
Directly diagonal and you're. Oh my god.
Mage hand slap.
Yeah,
Mark, do you
everyone.
have it
Party
now?
survived this.
For
long.
me,
I don't
he's
know.
underneath.
I don't
I'm
know.
going off Zoom, so
Who am I handing
Yeah,
it
see,
to?
we're going.
There you go.
We're going. Yeah, you have to hand it to North. North will hand
Okay.
it.
North, you got
And
it?
then pass it to Iskra.
All right, so
And
I
then
gotta go
Iskra.
up here.
Yeah, there you go.
I have to go off screen.
No,
Oh,
you were good.
You were right the first time. Lauren.
Was I right
Hey,
the first time?
We'll figure it out. It's fine. No worries. Yeah, thank you. Oh. Yeah. Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you. That was great. We'll get
That
it.
was
We'll get it
terrible,
down. Yeah,
Aaron.
no.
It's like
you know,
it's like the lightsaber thing.
we were. Yeah, it's fine. All right. Welcome to South Alamo. Oh no. Welcome to Game of Santos.
And you took a nap?
I
think
took
it's
a
time
nap.
for
I
a
took a nap.
vacation, Aaron.
Yo, you
Did
know
you
what?
ever
I'm-
wake up?
I don't know.
Ooh, this whole thing is a dream sequence? That's exciting.
Yeah. Is it? This whole thing's
Oh,
been a
no.
dream. I don't want to go through it
I
again.
think we'll call it a
character-
dreamy sequence.
What character's
Hey,
dream
dreamy
has it been
sequence.
the whole time?
Ooh, yeah. Whose character? This is all Graham. It's all been Graham's lucid fever dream.
No, there'd be a lot more horror going on.
Fair enough.
Oh, no.
Fair enough.
You want horror? Okay.
Just
As
say
if
the word
eventually-
spiders.
If eventually
Spiders.
this whole thing just like finally bled its way out years from now, and then we all do a reunion, and it's just the real show. Aaron wakes up as a nerd in college, and it's like, holy shit, what did I just dream about?
No.
So
Seems-
it's an even shittier end to the original run of Roseanne, is what you're saying.
no.
Oh,
Ugh.
It's like
Alright.
Disney and their alternate endings. Only this one is going to be really.
It's
rated
another. It's another what if episode.
Well, you know what? I think these people would have just enjoyed the ride.
All right. Well, we've dallied long enough. Let's get to business. We have
Dally, now we need
We-
Dilly. Come on.
Yeah, we have.
dilly dally. Oh my god. Nicely done. Nicely done. What if Game of Santos actually played D&D? That is a great
Dilly
episode.
dilly.
Well,
Nah.
Oh no, we never did. Never tried.
Okay,
it.
so
I've never played.
we're gonna go right into the intro because you know what? Let's just rip the band-aid off, and then we'll have our lovely recap by Kindred. Woo! Here we go. Here we go.
And
Sometimes awkward silences are the
Oh
worst.
my gosh,
All
my
right.
camera's frozen.
Whoa.
Oh, that's fine. You can be frozen. Just don't let everybody else be frozen, because that means I'm frozen. Okay, so we are ready to go. Kindred. Yeah, why not?
Whoa.
Kindred, take it away.
If Kindred is cryo frozen though.
Oh, you know, if he's like, what if he's super frozen?
What if he did this
Thought
on
what's their
purpose,
message?
so he didn't have to?
Oh no!
that
my
was it.
camera
He's
is
like, oh
frozen.
no, my camera
Like, Kindred
froze.
is actually just sitting really, really, really still.
You know,
Kindred,
I
let it
wouldn't
go.
say.
Maybe he did the Eric Cartman thing where he didn't want to go to social distance school, so he just put a picture of himself up in front of the camera and walked away.
Oh.
Kindred, are you alive? I think Kindred's gone.
You can hear us.
All right,
Give us a sign.
that's
I
fine.
wonder what kind of creature Kindred will come back as this time.
Right?
Right?
I guess we'll never know. All right, I'll just do it. Let's do this.
So pissed when it finally reconnects.
I know,
And
I know.
Is Kindred also on Spectrum?
You know, that would be
think
really
so,
funny.
actually.
And it just moved. The problems just moved to his neighborhood.
Like a rolling.
We are farm.
Power-
Dreamy
or
says that
internet
he's
outage.
faking it. All right, we'll see if he. Oh
Wouldn't be
no,
the
nope,
first
he's
time.
gone. All right, hold on.
Oh, we Picasso'd.
We Picasso'd. There we go. I'm still Picasso'd, but you know what? Hello. I'm just gonna go over here. There we go.
They can't see me.
This will be fine. Actually, you know what?
Wait,
Let's just go
we
to
wanna
this
fix
one.
it, though.
Oh goodness.
Nope.
This could
nope.
just be
Today.
Today's just been a day. Here we go. I'm just gonna do this for right now, because then we can just all see each other until he gets back, because I'm not messing with it right now. I have just
I loved
had it.
I loved the various formats. I liked the giant Graham is map cam.
Graham is Mapcam. This
I am
is
the light and the way.
all
It
right.
looks like Salvador Dali.
At
if he
least
played
his
D&D.
humility is in check.
That explains why I want the dark so bad then.
Okay, here's Kindred
Back
again.
to the abyss with you.
Oh my god, we're just
a
never.
lot more
You know what?
thunder
Today
down
we're just not. We're not playing D&D today. It's just confirmed. There we
Is it
go.
a-
Kindred,
no,
you're
it's not a
back.
full moon yet.
Okay.
Yay! Okay, let's go ahead and go. Just take it away. Just go for it.
Freezes again.
Shut up. Let him talk.
Okay. Dear diary, I thought I was a goner until Renan healed me, and healed me and North after a quick respite. The party, along with the menagerie of new animal companions, caught up to Iskra and Ardrin. Thank goodness for him too, because he had some friends come in, one in particular named Piskra, back us up and guide us through the maze of the underground below the palace. Until we caught up into the kitchen, that's when a group of red wizards caught up to us and engaged the party. And Saunders stepped up to them, and with what I imagined can only be the blessing of Bahamut beside him, managed to deter them away. The fact that he had slain, managed to deter them away with the fact that we had slain Valravn. It was about this time that fucking Galil showed up out of all people, and in the Reclaimer, too. Loading everyone inside and making quick escape, we got the hell out of there. And then we rested. That was about it.
Oh yeah, done. Easy peasy. You're all piece of cake.
Uh-huh.
Yo, I don't know
I
what
imagine Kindred laying on her bed, writing on her diary, like, Dear Diary, and like her legs are going like this.
What you
Yes,
thinking
sir.
about Kindred? I don't know, spell stuff, I guess.
Oh.
All right, here we go.
Well, I
We're
was be writing in my journal.
Let's do this. Who's doing it next time? Oh,
Who's left?
that's true.
Galil.
Galil. Galil's the only one who hasn't done it yet. So you're muted. So you don't get to whatever you were trying to say
I
doesn't
did not
work.
sign up for any of this. So
Two-
You signed up
it's-
for D&D, bitch.
Hey,
You
what
did it.
about Arduin? Ardrin.
Arjun.
Ardwin?
Ardwin?
I don't know why I said it
Archer.
with a W. I was like, was it with a W or with an R?
Archer?
Archer.
Artemis?
Artemis. Anyway,
I mean,
All
he
right.
kind of saved the day and half-assedly.
Galil,
Well,
you're
style.
doing
Sure,
it
that's
next
like a
time.
day.
Galil, you're doing it next time.
Good job.
That's been an
Bye.
executive decision.
You're like, I wasn't
Bye.
here.
Bye, everyone. I was not here. Leave.
Girl, I don't know what happened. I was unconscious for the entire event. The end.
I'm actually going to use that.
I'll do
You're
it.
gonna
You-
go and get yourself knocked out immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
I
All
know
right.
what to do.
Yeah,
Last
but
time on Game of Santos.
Dun, dun.
What do we do again?
Just fade to black.
okay.
Internet shuts down.
Bringing
I'm
it
here
down.
public
Bringing it
speaking,
back.
so I can't do this.
All right. So, as you rested on the flight back, you guys were brought to a portion of the Yorewood, a large stretch of forest that expands the most of the entirety of this peninsula of this country. There in the center, guided by what was her name? Terwin and Syra. You guys found a hidden grove, as it were, here in the depths of these woods. Landing the reclaimer into this open space, you are met by a few. No, yeah, you're met by a couple of people, one of which turns out to be the druid-like individual that you had seen when you guys had been in the process of leaving Everhelm. Let's get Sonder situated.
I remove myself, or we just allow two Sonders.
This is easy.
Oh god.
Just kick one out.
Yeah. There you go. All right. This is not what I was going for. All right. As you guys had gathered together, a couple of you had had some interesting conversations with each other, and a couple of you have had no conversations with each other. So, Ardrin comes to the end of the pier where this individual takes off this horned helmet off her head, revealing a young-looking woman beneath. And it is there. Oh, hello, Sonder.
Sonder looking like a whole ass snack.
Oh. Where she kind of smirks up at Ardrin, as you guys also see that the surrounding woods are infested isn't maybe too strong of a word, but we'll say filled with large arachnids of varying sizes.
I like the word brimming.
Brimming
No,
with
more than one. It's still infested. I don't care for it.
The first
Oh,
thing
give all
Renan's
the
like,
spiders
I'm
a
gonna use
scritch.
Channel Divinity, Firestorm,
All right.
If there's
so-
spiders everywhere?
California Wildfire
Yeah.
at 5th level.
Oh no.
No, yeah, it's gender reveal at 6th level.
Oh shit!
No.
Oh,
No.
That works so horribly
Luckily, I don't
well.
hear any of this because I'm still below deck with the
No,
children and the
you-
animals. And
You
all
are
that
not.
shit.
You are actually up
Oh, they're all
above.
up too?
Yeah, everyone is
Is
up
it
above.
blue or pink?
So,
A conflagration.
oh god. Okay.
Oh god.
So, she, I think the last word spoken was Ardrin when you were like,
Well, there's gorgeous.
she kind of smiles. What have you brought this time?
Well, no more than the usual trouble you sent me out to deal with.
She kind of looks around. She goes, yeah, they normally don't arrive in a flying vessel, though.
Yeah, I was a little surprised by this glorious monstrosity too, but I don't know. I kind of like it.
Is he talking about me?
I'll get to you in a second there.
Well,
I don't believe so, Soul. I don't believe so.
I'm assuming that you are looking for a place to stay for the night?
Well, that would be real nice of you, but we also got some captives that we really need to take care of.
Are they hurt? She
At
starts
least emotionally.
She starts walking up the gangplank towards you guys.
So a whole bunch of them were transmuted into animals for the time being, as a part of a smuggling scheme.
I had heard that the Empire had started doing experiments of that nature. Well, if you're able, bring them into the village. I will tend to them as quickly as I can. For the rest of you, my name is Vian. I am the keeper of the Yorewood.
Pleasure.
She nods politely, but her face doesn't exactly give you the impression of warmth or welcome.
So
You
resting
can't-
bitch
what race
face.
is she?
Got it.
She
Human, elf, sentient turducken.
she at the moment, I mean, you just see what appears to be a human. She has no she doesn't seem to have any elven features. She probably looks to be late 20s, early 30s, but her hair is almost platinum white. As she nods to everyone, you are welcome to stay on your ship if you wish, but I would probably suggest that you come into the cluster. The children will not harm you. But suffice it to say that the Yorewood is not the most hospitable of places after dark. Or during the day, for that matter.
I was wondering if the stories they told in the city were true, or if it was just the resistance.
She kind of
Both, really.
She kind of smirks a little bit. We try and keep it that way. It's safer for all of us. And she just turns and starts walking back down the gangplank. And you get the feeling that she kind of had got up high enough to kind of see and survey the ship, just kind of curiosity as she had talked to you, but also kind of was looking around, and then just walked down to be flanked by the two large hulking earth elementals that kind of walk towards the edge here of the little
Tree line?
yeah, the tree line, the grove that you guys are in.
Soul's gonna turn and look at everyone. If it's all right with all of you, I could try to hide our airship so that it blends in with the surroundings.
A reasonable idea.
I think that's wise. We don't want to get spotted from the air and give away our position.
How deep are we into the Yorewood?
You've traveled an hour to get here. So in about an hour south, you've been going in south west, it would be. So you're basically in the thick of it right now.
Okay.
Into the thick of it.
I knew that was going to happen.
Into the thing. Me and Sano know too well.
You don't have to take too much time on it, so I mean, I don't think they're going to chase us this far unless they're in airships, and in that case, we should hear them coming.
I'd like to try to be safe if I can.
Oh yeah.
It is what we did in my clan.
Terwin, here amongst you, the older ranger-like woman, she nods at Soul and is like, if you need help, just I don't mind helping if I can.
Okay. Then sit with me while I work on this. And so he just kind of like plops down onto the deck of the ship. And this is gonna take 10 minutes, just FYI.
Okay.
The woman with the horned helmet,
Yes.
what
VN.
was her name? Vienne?
Yeah.
Okay.
VN.
I somewhat approach her, but not trying to seem suspicious to the group or anything else, or her for that matter, and simply ask, if I were not to enter the cluster right now, would I be able to do so in a little while? I wish to try to get in contact with my patron if possible.
She eyes you up and down. You're not from this plane, are you?
No.
There aren't many winged elves that I've seen here on this plane.
We lose somebody?
He comes from Delta.
Her eyes kind of narrow. Your magic should work just as easily within the cluster than outside on the ship.
Well, I
You
would
may
simply
still-
just not like to insult anyone within the cluster if they didn't wish for me to pray inside.
We hold no ties to any one particular deity here. We are a haven, not a church.
All right. Thank you much.
She nods and like stands there kind of waiting to see those who get down off the ship. Syra goes down as well as whoever else is going to be following her.
Real quick,
will.
Soul's gonna turn to Iskra. Iskra, would you mind if you could use your wind to blow me one of the leaves from the nearby trees?
Yeah, I'm pretty tired, but I think I can do that. I'll catch up later, everybody. I shout down to the everyone down off the gangplank on the ground below. And then see what I can do to try to still being not super adept at using the wind.
Sure.
Do something like, okay, let's not break any branches, just leaves. And miss the spiders.
Okay.
Try to migrate some foliage via the wind.
Make a
this direction.
but yeah, you're not really. Yeah. What would you like to use for this?
I mean,
Nature, survival.
Well,
something wisdom based, because that's
Sure.
what
Sleight of hand.
governs my.
Slide
yeah,
of
and
hand.
I can assist with gust of wind.
Well,
Oh,
I mean,
here comes a hurricane.
yeah.
Bug it off.
Just roll a d20 and then just use your dexterity modifier just to kind of as you maneuver the wind.
So I'm guessing this time I would have like tended to the animals and the little girl, and kind of like taking count before we head off the ship. That way, nothing gets lost on the way.
Sure.
Kind of like tell them, y'all ready? I can start taking some of these collars off once we get a little bit more rested. If y'all want to come with, and then just kind of wait.
The animals follow you. Sparrow and Grackle are helping, kind of like corral some of the animals and guide them out of the ship. Sonder and North, what are you guys doing? Galil's you as well.
What happened to the staff that we got? The one with the broken magic thing
Or
on it.
It will be like sitting kind of like a sword, like in my belt on my costume.
Okay. North.
Yes. I will be kind of helping with the animals because I'm very
Yeah.
out of my element right now because I don't know these people really, but I also really don't know this new guy.
What do you mean
This new
these
guy,
people?
or the ship, or anything.
Well, I'm not
Like
sure
this-
if we're goats anymore. I don't know what the fuck that's happening. I mean,
Yeah. No,
you
for
just
sure.
came into my town. My grandma's running away. The whole watch is fucked. I don't know what to
Is
do
North
anymore.
like
I don't
muttering
know what
this
to-
as he's walking around?
He's just
I
muttering to
am.
himself. Yeah.
I'm just kind of like muttering as I'm doing this. They're like, "What's up with him?" I'm like, I don't know.
Galil, what are you doing?
Oreo and I will be getting off the ship, respectfully following, but also getting the lay of the land.
Sure. Make a perception check for me. Arjun, you kind of helping with the animals, I'm assuming.
If he sees a bunch of people already doing that, he'll
17.
let them handle it, but he'll probably step off the gangplank to kind of try and lead the path a little bit, but
Sure.
waiting for everyone to gather.
Of
And
course.
also kind of just be keeping it out, and like he hasn't been back in a while, so he'll just be kind of surveying.
Right. Alrighty.
Um,
Oh,
That's
should I
an
roll for that,
11
or-
for me?
11?
Way,
Cool,
so
cool. Yeah.
Probably works, but not the most graceful.
With a
I
little,
imagine.
you get. I'll say that Renan is, even with him not being on the ship, but he's kind of can see what you're trying to do, and kind of helps you out a little bit. And so with that assistance, yeah, you're able to get a couple of leaves to start whatever Soul is trying to do.
Is Renan being obvious about his help, or is it he just like she's clearly not doing this effectively?
Maybe a little. He's not being overt about it, but he is definitely aiding a little bit. Even with your passive perception, you kind of know that it moved. The wind moved a little more than you had,
Okay,
willed
cool.
it.
Okay,
Turns
so,
around, and I've been sitting like this. She starts to turn.
Just start messing with your nails. Mhm.
Soul is going to take the leaves. I appreciate you. Thank you, Iskra. He's going to hand one to his helper. What's her name again?
Therwin.
There. And he's going to take some of the leaves and close his eyes and press them to his forehead.
Okay.
And he's casting hallucinatory terrain.
Nice.
Yeah, so this is going to take 10 minutes. It has a range and area of 300 feet in a 150-foot cube, and it lasts for 24 hours. Basically, he's
Ooh.
making a
And-
hallucinatory terrain
Yeah.
that looks just like the trees around, except
You just
everyone
cloaked.
who's inside of it can tell.
Yeah. You just
I almost like
cloaked.
that spell myself.
Visiting Wakanda.
Yeah.
That's cool.
You just
Wow.
cloaked the ship. Yeah. And this now looks just from all angles outside the ship, it kind of just completely looks like the open glade. The ship is completely vanished from sight until you see some people just seem to emerge out of nowhere. Those of you who are there at the tree line, you can kind of see them just like seem to apparate from the magic that disguises the ship. Even Grandma Illy, who is now, or Captain Illy, who is now there amongst those of you who have disembarked, she's just like, huh. That's the closest to sounding impressed that you have heard her sound in a while.
Oh, flips his
For
head.
her.
I'm kidding. He doesn't have to be there.
Okay, so the rest of you disembark?
Yes. We'll try to
Alright.
catch up.
Yeah.
Grab my things first, get my pack, and do so.
As you disembark, the last of you who are trailing behind this little small caravan, you are led through the woods, and as Soul, you pass by, you see that Vianne has been waiting for like the last of you to to come up. And she looks you up and down. A druid.
Yes, I am a druid. He says it kind of cautiously because he knows that druids have been targeted. So, but
Interesting. I've not seen a Furbolg druid in some time.
there's a lot where I come from.
We might have to speak later. And she just kind of like, that's like the end of it. And she just immediately starts walking and guiding the rest of you.
Okay, that sounds good. Just let me know when.
Exactly.
Oh, don't forget to lock it.
But in that, what was that thing called? The life lock or the wheel lock
Oh.
thing? Remember that?
Got a boot.
Nice. As you guys continue along this path, you can see even here, as you are walking along, there is that faint glowing aura to the underbrush here in the woods. And it presents itself a interesting glow. Because while at the same time it seems magical, it also carries with it a sense of otherworldliness. As you do see those like the little glimmer flies and night bugs that kind of flash and twinkle in the distance of the trees. The further you walk along this path, you see more silken webs stringing up from ground to tree limb, covering tree limb to larger tree limb. And it doesn't look, it almost hangs like curtains. It's a very interesting and different vibe. It doesn't feel threatening, it just feels strange. This music, however, is a little more strange.
But how far, like, a walk have we been like walking for so far?
I wouldn't say it's not that far. You've probably been walking for like 5-10 minutes.
It's been 1 week.
It's been we'll say it's about 5 minutes of a walk before you see the woods that you are kind of following this like well-beaten path. And you pass between two trees, and the moment you pass between these trees, you are in what you assume to be the cluster, as you see that there apparently was another sort of illusion that prevents that village from being seen from the outside. Another sort of hallucinatory terrain, if you will.
Is there spiders like along this pathway?
Make a perception check.
Alrighty then.
1. It's just sitting on his shoulder.
Well, howdy do.
14.
Not directly in the sight, but you can hear movement in the treetops above you, just in the shadows.
Is it kind of like a little creepy vibe?
A little bit.
How's the little girl? Is she like scared and like obviously like frightened?
A little bit. She's nervous.
I
can
will
tell.
try my best to calm her and like make her more comfortable while we walk through everything. Then,
How big is this little girl?
She's probably about like 8.
You think I'd probably be able to like pick her up and like kind of shield her if she's like really?
If she really
Like
starts to
going kid
show.
with it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Probably. At the moment, she kind of leans into Kindred a little bit, but she doesn't seem like she's terrified. She's just scared of being in this new place.
Yeah.
As you walk into the cluster, that kind of vibe changes a bit. As now you see that there is a very almost literal wall of web that connects from tree to tree to tree to tree to create a walled in section of this village. And it's threaded not in the normal like spider web. It's just like a thick, almost gauze that covers these from tree that like makes this perimeter. Here within the center, you even see that there are a few of these huts that are wound in silken cocoons that have the homes inside of these large sacks almost. Hanging from the trees, you can see that there are a few of those phase spiders that you have had encountered before, as they just kind of pop into existence as you walk into the center of this cluster.
Where is Galil?
I'll catch y'all motherfuckers back at the ship. I'm gonna head out.
Just gonna point. Hey, Galil. How awesome would a fireball be right now?
Do I hear this?
Oh, I
It's
messaged
a
him.
message.
Okay.
All the spiders kind of just.
They intercepted the message.
Right?
Everybody goes full Ron Weasley. Just
Yeah. Do you reply, Galil?
I just keep walking.
I know he nodded though. Like I know.
He knows.
Smirk on his face.
Looking around, I, in some level of bewilderment, reverting to my native tongue in Elvish, I just say to not to anyone, but by Skathaith, this is a remarkable place.
Who's that?
Cool, right?
Vienne now reaching the center. You can see this of this village. There's 5 of these sack-like huts that sit around in different spots against trees. Some of them like even set up a little bit, almost hanging like those like swallow nests. And in the very center, there is a circle of rocks. Vienne extends her hand out, and a flame slowly swirls up into existence and starts burning there in the center. She turns back to the rest of you. Welcome to the cluster.
Thank you for your hospitality and for your shelter.
I will say this: the name makes a little more sense now.
She kind of smiles a little bit. I didn't want to give anything away. It's always interesting to see people's reactions the first time they enter into the cluster.
you said that the forest can be inhospitable. What about those spiders that we saw even before? What about those? Are they hostile or?
That depends. Do you mean them harm?
No, I do not.
Then you should be fine. They protect the forest and myself rather violently, though. We've
I
had
know.
plenty of reason to mistrust outsiders. And as she's speaking, you can see exiting from two of these homes, a few elven individuals dressed in like very simple clothing, almost silk-like.
Before, or I guess as she turns out, just kind of mutter, but mutter loud enough so that she could also hear. I think we're more alike than you know.
She points to two individuals. And hold on a second here. She points to a elven male and a human woman. These are my acolytes, Lareth and Varlazan. If you need anything, you're muted. Joshipu. Were you trying to say? Oh yeah, were you trying to say anything? No, you're fine now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. These are my acolytes. They will see to your needs and find you a place to rest your heads for the evening. If you wish, make yourselves comfortable. We will bring you changes of clothing. as we prepare you a feast for this evening, in thanks for your work that you have done in assisting the underground.
I wait right here. I want to kind of scurry over to Theon. Can we change the animals back before we serve them food? It might be a little out of body experience for them. I don't know what you're gonna serve.
We'll do what we can.
Okay, just wanted to bring it up.
Of course. Do not worry about them. They are in safe hands. She steps a little bit closer to you and like just looks into your eyes.
I'll just stare right back and don't blink.
Ooh.
And then turns to the rest. Please rest. You have had an interesting day. Ardren.
Thank you.
Ardren. Would you mind coming with me?
Will do.
She leads you over to one of the more central hovels. The rest of you are guided by her two acolytes to another one of these cocoon-like homes, and as you enter it, you see that it actually burrows down into the ground. So for as small as they look, they are also like, it just kind of burrows down and tunnels deeper.
Just the tip of the anthill.
Lareth guides you, and as she leads the way into this deeper tunnel, she kind of rubs her hand along a couple of mushrooms as she passes. They kind of start lighting and showing off this like bioluminescence that kind of lights the way as they progress deeper and deeper. You see, not using any flame except for that center bonfire that's in the center of this.
The magical Leopleurodon. It's gonna show us the way.
I crack a little smile when Alarith starts lighting up the mushrooms.
Yeah. I was gonna like elbow you and point at them and
Sorry.
smile too. That's cool.
It's very pretty mushrooms. I wondered if I could take some home to my family.
These mushrooms are lit.
Are you saying this out loud for her to hear, or are you just kind of telling the group?
I'm saying it out loud for her to hear.
Okay. Lareth turns back to you and it's just like, it might be possible, but please don't pick these mushrooms.
Okay, I wouldn't. Thank you.
Are they glowing on their own, or are you causing them?
She kind of cocks her head to the side. What is the difference?
Is the
Right.
light triggered
Do it.
by proximity, or are you using magic?
Nature in itself is magical, is it not? You would know.
Yes.
Watered one. And she kind of continues to walk. She leads you into like what you would imagine would be like the first subterranean floor of this space. And they are indeed like well burrowed out areas. The walls are smooth. There doesn't have any sort of artificially created angles to it. It's just this smooth little like hole in the ground that almost feels like you're being cupped in two hands beneath it, underground. It's just it almost feels like a nest. And in the very center there are blankets of various woven fabrics and things, plenty of things for you to get yourselves comfortable with. She also provides with all of these things some like not quite silken robes, but it's like a change of clothing basically. It's almost like silken pajamas that are all like provided to you to kind of like help you feel more at home and more comfortable and out of the armors and leathers and heavy things that you might be wearing.
Wow, was this made from the spider silk?
Yes.
I like it. Feels nice. It's not going to phase off my body at any point, is it?
Do you want it to?
On command, perhaps.
When you look down and you look back up, you just see her smiling mischievously towards you.
Oh.
I'll wait for you up at the surface when you are ready.
We thank you for giving us refuge. and
We thank you
allowing us to
for-
feast with you.
We thank you for helping our friends. She bows. So for the moment, you have 5 little rooms that are kind of like spread out in this little area for you guys to be able to change in and relax as you wish. The entryway to each of these little rooms has like a little tapestry that can be pulled across to kind of give you privacy if you wish as well.
So, do we have to add the clothes to our inventory?
If you
I
wish.
did.
What do we
No
call
rope?
them?
I called
Just-
them silky clothes.
Silky clothes. Sure.
Silkies.
I'm gonna take the little bundle of clothes and head to one of the rooms for a little privacy and change,
Okay.
and then head back out into the main area.
I'm going to add silkies to my.
Nice.
And I'll leave my pack except for my Santor and the various important pendants and the anti-magic staff.
Okay.
Are the animals still with us?
No. They were guided with the other people in the village by the other acolyte.
Could I just have sent Mal's with them then, just that way the animals aren't completely away from us?
Sure.
Okay.
Where do you think the feast really is coming from?
That's what I want to make sure.
The spiders got to eat too.
The girl is with you though.
Yeah, but she has her wrap. I'm assuming, right? Okay. I just want to make sure. So yeah, Mouse is with the group, and then I'll turn to get her situated and all washed up and ready. And if we have a moment, I'll just kind of like, so do you want to change your sister back, or do you want to keep her as a rat? Kind of like playfully, like.
She kind of looks down and looks up at you.
Keep her as a
She like literally seems like she's thinking about it.
Oh no.
No, I guess it's probably best.
Yeah. So you want to do it?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
What do I do?
So I'll go to like a corner in the room. I'll just I'll trace a circle. I don't know if it's dirt or whatever. So tell her she has to stand in the center right here.
You have to stand in the center right here. She places it down.
Put that thing away.
Had it within immediate reach is phenomenal for me.
Oh yeah, I'll tell her. And then so what you have to do is you have to go up and kiss her on the forehead, and you have to say her name out loud, and then back up. Okay. But you have to think really hard about it.
Kiss a rat? No way.
Okay.
Shut up. And I'll watch,
Okay.
and as soon as she does it, I'll cast Dispel Magic at 5th level. No, let's see, where's my spells? I do not want this to fail. I will cast it at 6th level.
She's like, the kiss didn't work. You just
lied to me.
Yeah, just traumatized
Love
this
wasn't
Harder for
child.
life.
enough.
Your kid, yeah, your love wasn't strong enough. You didn't love her enough.
He didn't get
Wow.
enough likes on Facebook.
Put it on there for forever.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
She kind of nods and like you can hear her whisper into the little rat's ear. And as you cast, yeah, make an Arcana check for me.
Kindred is Mary Poppins confirmed.
And then I add my proficiency, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She doesn't even say your name. She just says, "Get ready, bitch," and it still works. She's like,
Or
"Okay."
just get. Never
I
mind.
rolled a 18,
You don't have the 18
so plus
plus.
9 plus 4. So plus 30 something, 20s, high 20s.
Graham.
All right. You're the worst. I love you.
I'm glad that the like vibe here after you got actually into the stream hasn't changed at all. It's still me looking at the comments and going, Graham!
I just like to hear you shout my name. That's all I can say.
Ooh.
Wow.
Okay.
That's a never-ending story show.
Wow. Okay. So, as she like steps back, the little collar around the animal's neck, you hear it go, and it falls to the ground, and almost immediately, a younger girl, probably about 5 or 6 years old, appears. Tight little red-haired curls around her.
Her
She
name
kind
is
of.
Petra Pettigrew.
And she kind of looks up and like scared and looks around, and she like was like on her hands and knees on the ground, and now just like realizes she can stand.
I'll be shooting from your own
me?
hand.
You did it. I told you.
And they immediately embrace.
Oh.
Is the rat clothed?
I was wondering that. but
She's got well, because whenever you get
Like
polymorphed,
I would have immediately probably put my cape up just in case.
whenever you get
And then, like,
polymorphed, whatever you're
Just like
wearing
Kindred
gets
look.
whatever you're wearing gets polymorphed with you. So she
Okay.
just had this basically the same like raggedy clothing that her sister does, or her sister had. Just like
That'd been
Nina,
really weird.
Nina, and then starts like rubbing the top of her head as she holds her, and like you can hear the younger sister is just like sobbing into her older sister's.
I forgot
Embrace.
her name was Nina.
She's like, "You're safe now."
Edward.
What though?
So, as this is going on, we will switch over.
And just kind of let them have their moment and watch.
Yeah. Arjun, you follow Vianne, and she
My doom.
yeah, as you follow her into the main her home, Vianne's home. You also follow her down. You can see that this place, you've been in it a couple of times, but this one is definitely the more wild looking of all of the rest of the homes.
Does
It's
it look the oldest?
It does look the oldest. You can see even as you are approaching a few little spiders like crawling their way out of the entrance as you walk in.
Are there any that are like roughly corgi sized?
Yeah.
He'll grab one that he thinks he's familiar with, and he'll kind of just like roll it over like it's a puppy and kind of scratch its belly.
Its little
Yeah.
little legs kind of like
Give it a little abdomen scritch.
yeah.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
Give it the little pedipalp scritch, and
What
then
is-
just send it on its way.
What is this one's name?
Peter.
Peter. Okay. Well done. What a good boy Peter is. Little spider Peter. All right. So,
Spider Peter. Spider Peter.
Um,
That's my letter.
after changing, there's two things. First one is a question.
Well-
Second thing is what I would like to do.
okay, hold on. Let me finish with Arjun real quick. Keep that in mind. Vienne, as she like pauses enough for you to reacquaint yourself with one of the smaller denizens of the cluster. She can, as you like stand, she's just like, so you found yourself a few new allies, it seems. And she continues to walk deeper into the burrow.
Yeah, rather fortunate because, all things considered, I would not have been able to get anybody out of there if I hadn't have run into them.
I heard it was a little more difficult than we had anticipated to begin with.
Yeah, we, other than the Thans themselves, we also had a few, snaky boys to deal with. They did a lot of the damage to, who didn't make it out of there.
Snakes. I have heard that the Empire had started working with a circle of druids, but I had not heard a confirmation so close to home. It's interesting. We once used to be a rather vast network of these druid circles. That was the one that proved to be the most elusive. Strange that... Go ahead.
Oh, so just out of character, I'm trying to remember the name. Like, aren't they the snake people? Wanty? Is that the name for that?
Well, that's like what everybody else knows them as.
Okay.
But in this sense, they're kind of it's kind of like the similar thing, but we're phrasing it a little differently in this case.
Jack.
Yeah, but basically, you are correct.
Okay.
They present an interesting dilemma. We had
Beyond
been
just being formidable or something worse.
We had been trying to figure out where and how they were sneaking out all those they had captured, correct?
Yep.
And now that you have brought this forward about the changing of the prisoners into animals, it kind of puts a few more pieces together, this puzzle. Do you think these new allies of yours can be trusted?
Trusted enough to the point where I know for a fact they want to punch as much Thayan teeth as they can, and I can't help but admire that tenacity.
They may well get their opportunity depending on what their goals are. We received word after you left from some of the others that stayed behind in the city of the underground. It does seem that the Empire has moved in to Veltala. Whatever pretenses they had of a symbiotic relationship with the Watch and Algorand is long past.
Well, I can't say I'm surprised. It was already kind of like that to begin with, and the Thayans don't make treaties. They don't make alliances. They assimilate and subsume. That was gonna happen one way or the other.
She finally reaches a larger den where there's a few more of these spiders that are crawling about. And they kind of skitter and move up and out of the way into smaller little tunnels in the roof of the building of this room. She has a couple of pieces of furniture for people to sit in. It's almost like a small little lounge, and she sits into one of the chairs and gestures for you to sit as well.
He does.
I would like to ask, once the prisoners have been released, if you think that these individuals could be trusted to take them south. I am hesitant to lead a expedition myself and get away from the cluster, especially when things are as potentially violent as they might turn. The Thayans don't know where we are, but it's only a matter of time.
I suppose that's depends on how far south you intend for them to go. I did ask them to help me get them here this far, but they made me no assurances they were going to help even further than that. Nor would I expect them to.
That is fair. I guess we will see. I would like to make a judge of their character. I have questions for some of them. Do you find that agreeable?
Of course. And for what it's worth, when it came down to it, they made the choice to help. So there's at least something useful about them.
She kind of smiles a little
I
bit.
got a sweet ass ride too, I gotta say.
And in that, it would make the journey far much more easier. We'll see what happens. She kind of gestures out and like across the hall. Just like, you're welcome to take the guest chambers if you wish. Relax. I'm going to go tend to the guests.
I'll return to it later. I'm gonna go make sure my new friends are settling in and aren't too spooked by all the creepy crawlies.
She has, as you say that, one of the little spiders that's probably about 1.5 feet across crawls up from over behind the silken sofa that she sits in and crawls across her, and she kind of like picks it up and like lets it crawl up and around her hand. I'm sure they'll be just fine. She kind of smiles with a little bit. She kind of smiles mischievously. And with that, we'll switch over to Renan. What was it that you said you had something you wanted to do? And something you wanted to ask?
Yes. As for something I wanted to ask, how many days has it been on the circlet for?
Probably not even 3, if that.
I'm thinking 2.
2.
I'll take 3. I'm just saying.
I
just legitimately couldn't remember.
Well, I mean, the fog did last for 3 days and 3 nights,
yeah,
right?
It
So it has
for
to have been 3 days.
Yep.
Yeah, this would be the 3rd night.
Last day. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So there is that. All right, I'm just taking that mental note.
Right.
Going outside, I'm gonna look around. I have switched into the silken robes, but there's only one caveat. There is, did I have to cut the robes open in order to
fit your wings? Probably.
Yeah.
They weren't exactly expecting a winged individual.
I took the clasps off of my cloak and used the clasps to keep the top part of the clothing.
I was gonna say you could just
ropes
tie
around
it. You could kind of tie it across yourself like those like sweater, like a little hugging sweater with the arms wrapped around the front.
I'll have to send you some of the drawings that I did. I did a set of drawings that are of Ariel clothing that it's made in such a way that an Avario can wear it. Anywho, but going outside, I'm gonna be looking for whatever the highest stable point is where I could potentially land.
Okay.
So do I need to make a perception check for that?
Yes, please.
I know for me, I probably would have just taken a pair of the silk pajamas but just stowed them in my backpack for now because since I'm reborn and I don't have to eat
Are they night robes
anything,
or are they just?
I would assume I
robe
also
robes?
don't sweat.
They're just like it's like clothing. It's not like a full on robe. It's just like a top and bottoms, almost like pajamas, silken pajamas.
Kimono.
Okay. Well, that was a 24.
Okay.
Wait, do I get my kimono
The
back?
first one was a 9, and that's with a +8.
Got it.
I'm so glad I have advantage on looking around.
Yeah. Easy enough. You can find some rather high perches in the trees above. That being said, you do see that they are currently filled with all sorts of other critters that are up there as well.
I go look for Soul.
I mean, at this point, I'm assuming you were still in the underground spot, but yeah, you like turn back around and go inside the burrow.
Can I say that Soul was going to change into his clothing, but he ended up befriending a bunch of these little puppy spiders, the youngins?
Make an animal handling check for me.
It's just like in the middle, like
That's exactly what I was thinking. Yes.
So
They, like, try
covered
to
in little,
web
like,
you.
spider puggles.
like in a friendly way where we think they're killing you. No.
He has a toothbrush in his hand. He's just like scrubbing between the mandibles. Like, don't worry,
I got
I'll
a
be clean now.
16.
16. Yeah, you make some new little friends. You got like four or five of them.
Soul's rolling around, giggling while they're all like jumping all over him and like puppies, like
Yeah.
with puppies.
Walking into the room, I like look down at you.
It is a sight to behold, I will admit, isn't it?
They're tickling.
As he's distracted by being tickled by spiders, I just kind of lightly beat my wings once to make wind go across them.
Okay, spiders. Okay. Hold on. Stay. Hey, then he turns to you.
I have a favor to ask, my friend.
Okay, sure. Anything.
The highest perch that I could see has some of your new friends. And I simply would not like to try to take it from them, but I would like to ask if I can spend, say, about 4 hours up there, if they could grant me the perch. But I can't ask them that.
I don't understand. Why don't you just ask them?
I don't speak Sylvan, and I don't have particularly good time trying to communicate with spiders.
You mean with spiders? Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I could help with that. I think it would be best, though, if you'd let the people here know what you're planning on doing, too, so they don't mistake you to being an aggressor of sorts.
Well, I will certainly let them know, but she had said that I could pray to my deity. The closer to the sky that I am, the better.
Okay. Then show me where you would like to go.
Walking back outside, I just kind of point and then I look around, trying to find where she's at. And I go over, if I see her, I go over to tell her.
To Vienne?
not.
Vienne is currently out of sight. You do see that there are a couple of elves. By the door there would be Larith, the human woman that had shown you around. She's kind of waiting in the upstairs area.
All right. Walking toward her, I walk up to ask if they would mind too terribly if I had Soul ask those spiders to vacate their perch for a little while.
She kind of follows your line of sight, looking up where you are, intending to go. Then kind of raises an eyebrow. And like from
Saving
the
trouble. No.
from seemingly out of the side wall of this webbed space. A spider,
my swords out.
a little spider kind of emerges. You're still downstairs.
She's
unless
trying
you're
to charm person.
Are you? Not again. The little spider kind of emerges and then crawls up her arm. She points over at you. He's going to want to go up the stairs, if you will. Do you mind telling the others to move? The little spider just kind of like stares and then crawls to her elbow and then lowers itself down to the floor before scurrying up and outside. She goes, all you had to do was ask.
Soul
Simply
goes,
didn't
"See,
want to impose.
I told you.
She turns to Soul. Vianne would like to speak to you.
Oh, sure, okay.
Suddenly I've gotten Soul in trouble. Oops.
He looks at those spider puppies that are still following him around. He's like, okay, come on.
She holds a finger up and the spiders stop. And then she kind of like does a little motion and they kind of all disperse and go away.
Oh, okay, thank you. I was playing with them, but that seemed like I couldn't stop playing.
They have things to attend to, as do you. She kind of gestures and points down towards the largest and oldest looking home. That's just what I'm going to call them, little homes. She goes, she'll be waiting for you there.
Okay, now that the spiders are busy, I'm going to go and change into those clothing.
Of course.
And I will meet her there. So he decides to go back down, change.
Okay. As you go up, come back up from changing, I guess this was when Ardrin, you are coming back.
He'll just pass by Saul and just have fun, big man.
Okay. Are we going to play a game?
Do it. I'll let you figure it out. He just winks and he just keeps on walking.
So I kind of bow a little bit, and then I wait for the spiders to start.
You see
moving off
you
of
can
that
start.
route.
You see them climb and like skitter away around the opposite sides of the tree, or like down the tree trunk and into other trees via web transit.
I fly up there, and whether they can understand it or not, I kind of look towards the trees that I saw them going towards and simply say, "Thank you, I won't be but a couple of hours." And I sit down and I start a long rest, going into trance.
Before the meal?
Hmm?
Okay.
I'm trying to get in contact with Hirsonos, so if he gets in contact before the meal, or if he allows me to talk to him before the meal, great. Otherwise, if it takes a full long rest, then that's what I'm gonna do.
I mean, you know, you can just try and commune with him, right?
Yeah, but even sitting there, if I just try to commune with him, then that's great. If he talks to me, great. I'll stop the long rest.
Okay, just curious.
That's my point of view so far.
Okay.
Called it intermittent fasting.
No soup for you.
And technically,
new
I
fad that
I probably would have gone up with them too, because I only grabbed a pair and stowed them, and then I was gonna head back up to the surface because I was gonna wear them right now.
You're the silkies.
Yeah, I was just gonna stow them in my pack because
I'm starting to meditate on the branch, and all of a sudden just zoom.
Wait, are you gonna go up to where he's at?
Me, no.
Oh.
Okay.
I am gonna stay on the ground, and since I don't drink or eat, I'm assuming that I probably don't sweat, and so my underclothes should be fine if my armor got it all.
You're okay.
DM choice. I mean, that's just kind of like
You're still
a character.
You're
thing.
not. Yeah. You were. Yeah.
I'm dead. I'm a remorse.
You're.
I don't know. You know.
You still sweat. It's fine. You're undead in a different sense. Yeah.
Sweat phantom. But I probably would just take off my pack and my armor and then lean against it and I'd just kind of watch what Renan's doing up there.
As you get upstairs to where Lareth is, she also nods to you. Lady Vianne would like to see you.
And then I'd get up and I guess start walking over there with my stuff then.
Okay. All right.
Is Soul still up here?
You can see him probably about like 30 feet in front of you, like walking in that direction.
Soul, are you going to be heading back down to where everyone is at? Back in the burrow?
Well, he's going towards the same place you are.
Oh yeah, never mind then. What does he tell me?
I mean, I would assume you know that he's headed in that
It's
direction.
like when y'all meet, walking towards the same direction.
Oh,
I think I'm already ahead of you, basically going in the same direction. Is what he's saying, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Soul, yeah. But like, I don't know exactly where he's going. He's like, no. So,
Okay.
character thing.
Yeah. No, for sure.
So I imagine that the silks on Soul is like a crop top, and
surprisingly enough, they're not terribly short on you. They're not like perfect
A little
fit.
stretch.
But
Right.
yeah, they had brought out the larger sizes for larger creatures.
a
So
little bit of like capri on him, capri pants, and
yeah, they go
shows
up maybe just a little bit.
belly.
They go up maybe to the ankles, for your
gaucho
legs. Yeah, and then for like midriff size, like the bottom of the top kind of just sits right at your belt line where you have the pants. So if you stretch upwards, it rises. But as long as when you keep your hands down, it still connects, as it were.
Okay. North, I am on my way to go see. I can never remember how to pronounce her name. They're that word.
Evian.
Evian. Sorry.
Wait, what?
Wait. Oh my
no,
God.
don't listen to
Vian.
the troll. Vian.
Theon.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay. See, I knew it was something with a the.
Yeah. Viann. Vian.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I wonder what she wants with both of us.
As you guys go that way, Galil, what are you doing?
I am just walking around. I put on the silkies.
Are you in the little hovel where Iskra and I and the girl are?
No,
Okay.
I'm literally walking around and seeing what all there is here.
Like,
Because I've never seen anything like this.
okay, so you're up on the surface.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check for me. Sonder, what are you doing?
I'm going to do a staring
Me too.
contest with one of these spiders.
Love it.
They're in the hovel
Meditate
with
on it.
they're in the tunnels with everybody else.
Which set of eyes do you focus on?
I was thinking
Uh,
the same thing.
Oh no! It's going to win.
It's gonna be like
this weight
Moana.
of water.
He's gonna start talking to you. Pick one. Pick one.
She's like,
I think we're at a standstill because I can wet my eyes whenever I need to, and the spider has 8 eyes. So
Blinks one eye at a time.
yeah.
What eyelid?
Oh my
yeah.
goodness. Well, I mean, I guess that is one way of doing it.
gonna be like a dog. When you stare at them too long, they're gonna like lunge jump at you.
So you're just
No,
so
wait,
you're
is that
the,
a thing?
The
you're
irony
there.
is that they're called blink spiders, but they don't.
Ooh.
Common
So-
misconception.
So you're there in this room with everybody else, right? Saunders like frozen camera wise, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
but we can hear you, so that's good.
I'm gonna turn off my Twitch because it's affecting my internet.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Any
pick
better?
the spider that has like 4 marble eyes.
All right. So you are
Spider blink.
well, Iskra, what are you doing? Trying to get a gauge for what everyone's up to.
Well, I really like these clothes. Looking over at Saunder, I'm like, I don't think it's gonna hurt you.
I just think they're interesting. It caught me off guard the last time that we were interacting with these creatures. So
Definitely. We're on different terms now, though. The whole
Right.
place is really fascinating. I
Yeah.
love how simple and delicate and sturdy these clothes are. It kind of reminds me of the academy. Do you have anything like this at your monastery?
had yes, they were well, they were fan towards Bahamut with the blues, the silvers, and whites. Not as nice as this though. This silk feels fresher.
Yeah, ours were a bit scratchy. I think they came from a
Yeah.
factory. Nice though.
I do wonder if, because everything is connected through the webs, do the spiders and does the people that are helping us know of what happened before we got to Veltalar? The fight that we had in near the Yarwood last.
I think that our host is the
Is that same person?
shrouded individual that we saw. Yeah.
I was thinking maybe so.
The little girl listening to you guys. Is she a bad person?
No.
I like get down on her
She's the-
level. No, she's just kind of weird.
She likes spiders.
But I like snakes.
Snakes are weird too.
I'm kind of weird.
Yeah,
And you kissed a
are.
rat.
You like rats.
Nina goes, oh, I
Now you need
guess.
a tetanus shot.
She just like, she kind of got indignant when you called her a rat. She's like, ah.
So I guess we're all kind of weird in our own way.
I'm not weird.
I didn't say you were. I said your sister was for kissing a rat.
You kissed a rat. And she's like, kind of does like a little playful like elbow shove to her sister.
I think Vienne is just cautious and probably acts the way she does because of the circumstances she was in.
Fair enough.
Yep. I can get that. I can see where she's coming from.
Oh, hey, Kindred.
Mm-hmm.
Renan was suggested that I hand this over to you for safekeeping. He thinks maybe I shouldn't be touching it. And I take the necklace from Valravn out of my pack and hand it
like,
over.
Uncovered or is it covered?
I've got it like clutched in my hand, and I'm gonna kind of reach out like this with like my in my fist.
I'll palm it.
Yeah.
And just tuck it.
Alright.
Looking down at the girl, like I'll look at it later.
Yeah, I think that's probably best.
the staff. I'm not sure if it is disabled at this point, but it still holds, I think, a lot of power if we're able to reactivate it.
Well, since I walk back towards my pack again, pick it up and kind of look at the crystal, like tap it a little bit.
The lights and the webbing and magic, and we're in magic.
Oh yeah.
Nothing happens. It makes a little bit of a like tuning fork sound a little bit, but nothing. It almost sounds and feels like it's hollow inside.
Whatever it
Take this
is,
to it.
that's probably a really good idea. She
But-
knows a lot about crystals.
Maybe we let them know we have it, and I can look at it in a bit as well.
Of course.
Is there somewhere high we can put it? Away from hands?
Right. Because this kind of thing would be a
Yep.
There's a couple of shelves in these little rooms, little like pieces of root that kind of stick out and have little more pieces of wood that are
like a
placed
gun
on
rack.
top. Yeah, they're just like very simple and naturally made. So it's just like a piece of wood that sits on like a shelf of bark that sits on a root that kind of sticks out of the wall a little bit, and you can place it up a little higher.
Yeah. A
Sonder.
southern gun rack.
Give me a boost so I can get to that tall one over there.
Yeah.
I put my foot on his hand and pop myself up.
Yep.
Good.
I was like, with monk skill, I mean, I feel like this is no problem whatsoever. And it's about the time that you're like reaching up to put something high that Ardring walks in.
Welcome back.
And it's just like up like that, right?
Yeah,
It's
right.
like
Yes, that's what
it's
it is.
just. I don't even want to
Pop
know.
back down. Thanks.
But you now see that there are two little girls instead of just one.
Oh, look at that! They're spawning. I'm happy for you. You look like you got over a little got over it to whatever they did to you. That's good.
The littlest one kind of waves. Hi.
I look over at Kindred. I assume you helped out with that.
She did it all on her own. I said, like, wink. As soon as she's not looking.
Well, no wonder they were so interested in you. You're kind of powerful, ain't you?
The older sister like puts her fists on her hips and just like,
Well,
Perfectly
they
creative.
should watch out for you.
kind of reaches her hands out like, ugh. Can I
Later
turn?
on, they're gonna try alchemy to bring the
Eldritch
back.
Blast.
She turns to Kindred. She's like, if I don't have to kiss him to turn him into a rat, do I?
There's many other ways to do that.
She just smiles.
Turns
So
out she's a wild mage. It's time to roll with.
yeah, everyone
worms.
turns into sheep. All right, so
These shears.
right.
But would you mind watching them for a sec? I just want to change out of this bloody mess. And I will not put the silk robes on, but I'll put my regular robes on.
Okay.
And I'll kind of wash out my slut dress.
Wow. You take the napkin and just wring it out that you were wearing.
What's left of it, I'm sure.
I have mending. I'll fix it.
Weirdly, there's even more material than you started with.
Somehow, suddenly sheep. Exactly.
The
All right.
spiders took it upon themselves to add more.
Yeah, they're like, this is just so immodest.
This hobgoblin looks cold.
No,
It's got knitted on extensions to it. Okay, so Seoul and North, as you guys are heading into the central area. Wait, hold on. Get the right thing here. Okay. As you guys go inside, you see that Vian awaits for you both at the entrance before it sinks down into the tunnels. So, North, she says to both of you. So, I have some questions I need to ask, but first, I wanted to look you over, North. She starts walking in a circle around you. Do you have your cloak on to cover your arm? You're muted.
I do.
Okay. She takes the cloak and kind of lifts it up over to reveal your hobgoblin arm and brushes a hand along the side of your face that is like half changed.
Does she see that I have tightened a grip kind of behind me on one of my blades?
I mean, you don't know what she sees, but she doesn't seem phased by your stance at all. She just kind of continues to walk in a circle around you.
I would have come in at Parade's Rest, so my
Right.
hand's already behind me, but one just kind of lifted up and
Right.
grabbed it.
She places a hand on your other shoulder in a relaxing sort of way. I'm not going to harm you. I just wanted to see for myself. Ardrin spoke of some reptile-like individuals that you came across. Do you have any memories of how this happened to you? And she kind of runs a finger down the hobgoblin arm.
Nothing that's interesting yet.
She turns to Soul. Do the people in your tribe know much in the way of reincarnation?
Sure. Usually that's something that the village chief would decide on if that person was worthy for coming back.
As you, I'm sure, are aware, she's still talking to Soul while you are present. Sometimes the things that we druids have been taught can be used for darker purposes. Sometimes as part of nature, sometimes in a more twisted sense. Do you know how to perform that ritual?
Me? Oh no, I'm not anywhere near something like that.
Child, she turns to you. Do you wish to be whole again?
Well, it depends on if I'm sure it'll happen.
Oh, I guarantee you, it can happen.
The point is it kind of failed last time. Clearly.
I wouldn't say it so much as failed. You have a strong spirit. Reincarnation is and can be a rather tricky thing. In this instance, your soul was trying to stay within one form while being forced into another. You have a rather strong soul.
Still, it's strong. Yes.
It resisted, and this was the outcome. It's what happens when you force something that is supposed to take place naturally. If you wish...
Death seems pretty natural too, and yet I'm somehow still alive.
Death is natural. It is part of a cycle that has gone on since the dawn of time.
But I'm left alive. Not remembering anything. Completely changed. Surrounded in darkness in my own self.
You are still new. Reborn, as it were, into this form. Think on it. As we feast this evening, as we make our and give our thanks. If you wish, by the morning, you can be you again. Nothing else will have changed, but we can fix the wrong that was done to you. Soul, come with me. Let us prepare a feast for our friends,
Okay, I would like that.
and we can talk a little. North, you may go back to your friends if you wish. We will see you at the feast. Think on what I said.
I let my grip off my blade and kind of bow, and then just to kind of make light of the subtle tension, I'm just like, we better not be having soul food for dinner. Can I head out?
She smiles. And Soul, she takes one of your arms and wraps her arm in yours and leads you deeper into the burrow. And that is where we're going to take our break.
Ooh, that's some Amaranth
also-
bullshit. Don't go in there.
Soul did look confused when North made that comment. It's like,
Soul food? What?
I keep forgetting sometimes that Soul both is and is not Drax.
Yeah, I love that. That is great.
yeah, he was one of my influences for making the character.
Perfect. I love that. All right,
Love.
don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. I'm just gonna take a quick break, and we will be right back. Peace. All right. Welcome back. All right. So, what we've just left off on is the brigade has been welcomed into the cluster, a small little village group of homes protected by large and small, but many spiders. Their host currently, Vianne, and her, along with her acolytes and a few others who seem to live here in this village, are preparing a feast for the brigade, as you guys have helped several escape from the clutches of the Empire and the Watch. Galil, as you are
Yes, ma'am.
walking around the village, you said you had gotten like a 22 or something?
Yep.
As you and Oreo are making little rounds about the inside of this perimeter, are you staying within the perimeter of the village, or are you going outside?
I want to go a little bit outside of the village just to see if I get a different view.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you can do what you can see that there are like basically two entrances or two ways out of this village. There's the way you came in, and basically on the opposite side of that, another little doorway, a passageway that's kind of like almost has an archway of web that goes across that you are able to pass beneath in the two trees and go outside. As you've been walking around on the inside, you see that there are several elven and half-elven individuals that are bringing out what looks like half-cut logs and small stones and setting them in a circle around this central bonfire. Kind of looks like they're setting up a seating area for somewhere to people to sit by the fire here in the center of the city, or center of the little village. Moving outside of the village, you see that this space can't be seen from outside of the apparent wall that is the outside of the city, and as you are kind of skirt around the outside where you would imagine the wall is, you kind of run your hand out an empty space between tree line, and your hand touches gossamer feeling silk threads and strands. Your kind of like ripples across the surface, and it just feels like you're touching fabric as it goes across the empty space, but it looks like you can see through it. Just kind of has more of that forest underbrush that kind of has a little bit of a soft glow to it, even so deep in the woods where normally it would be pitch black. It's kind of lit from beneath, almost as if like the very ground kind of had a bluish hue that kind of lifted up from it. And occasionally, as you make a perimeter, you'll see still above the trees threads of spider silk that kind of just crisscross the various branches from tree to tree, and you can hear the sounds of moving creatures above you.
I take a look up and try to see exactly what's creepy crawling.
Sure, making a perception check.
25.
25. Even in the high canopy above you, you can see the movement of the spiders as they climb across their web. It almost seems as if the entire canopy itself is like their own little highway, and they can move easily from one tree to the next, moving almost like a ceiling of creepy crawlies. Most of them small nose, rather small, but still sizable. Some of them rather large. Some of them just seem to apparate and disapparate in like almost like as if they cease to exist. You hear just a very gentle like whooshing of air filling a vacuumous space that they had once been in.
Would I have been outside again by now?
No, you're still. This is whenever you were down below.
Okay.
I'm just kind of. I'm having to go back and forth in time a little bit. What anything else you're wanting to do while you're out here?
I'm just gonna keep walking around, and then in my head, I'm just gonna say to Carp, "I found them."
There's a moment of pause. Are they safe? The voice seems to come from all about you, not so much even inside, it's just it feels omnipresent.
Yeah, we're at some safe haven, I guess. I'm not entirely sure what's going on still, but I'll be in touch
An ally?
for now.
Be careful. Please. You don't hear anything else. Renan. Dum dum. You start your meditations. Are you trying to just see if Hersinos comes to you, or are you actually praying or making a supplication?
I'm reaching out mostly with just mentally reaching out. I'm not saying any words,
Okay.
but I'm trying to call out to him.
You sit there in the branches with your eyes closed. You can feel the wind blowing through the trees around you. And you feel a presence there. Unspeaking, but just you are not alone on the tree.
In primordial, leaning more towards like an Oran dialect.
Yep.
Need to know if I should tell the party of the agents of chaos that we have found. Don't know what to do.
The voice that answers always seems to sound different in this place. But it comes through the wind. What do you want to do? You are free to choose, are you not?
It will put them at a greater risk.
But will they not be better prepared for whatever they might face?
Some in this party, I know not yet if I can trust. I feel that I can. I have thought accusations that your will has told me are not true. I am afraid. For the first time in 300 years.
Why now?
Haven't had to face one of these, well, before in a very long time. And now I'm forced to go up against them again with the support of an entire nation behind them.
So isn't it time now to gain allies yourself? That is what I sent you here for.
These people wish to protect the innocent, and that was part of my mission that you gave me. I think I will tell them.
The wind blows a little stronger in your face, and you kind of are. It is reminiscent of like flying through the air almost just for a moment, even though it doesn't knock you from the branch. And that presence is gone.
With that, I look down toward the cluster.
Okay. You can see North exiting the larger of the homes. The one that you've kind of have seen to be seems to be like the largest and the oldest.
Oh, I do. Lovely. I'm gonna fly down in front of North, landing in front of him. Making no attempt to scare him, but also making none to try to be particularly kind in landing.
Yeah. Are you startled, North?
I saw him up there earlier, and I've been through the ringer, so not much has surprised me as of late. So
Fair enough.
He did
Light a
that.
cigarette. Like,
he'll kind of do that little thing and playfully, I guess, do it but not, and then I'll just do that zero flinch that Kobe had and just there none.
He'll do that Black Widow hero
Just-
landing with the hair flip.
Looking up
Yeah.
at you, I say, I'm going to say something, and I don't want you to take offense because it's an accusation, but also a test. Would you grant me that?
Depends. Are you gonna try to smack like that goblin did?
Pop Goblin.
No. Just an accusation that I'm not certain as of yet whether or not I think is true. I'd like to think it's not, but if I utter the words, I will know.
Would you like to take a walk then? Before the feast begins?
Certainly.
Make it sound so weird.
I'll kind of gesture my hand.
Even weirder.
So,
We're
as we
both
start-
socially awkward, or at least I am.
he's socially awkward. I don't like people.
Perfect.
I'm reborn. I have 0 charisma. I have negative
Yeah.
1 actually.
Oh dear. Walking off, once I feel like we're out of earshot of anyone, I'll look at him and say, we cannot trust you. You are the enemy. And then use channel divinity to tell whether or not the accusation was true.
Ooh. As the words ring through your ears, that sounds almost like it kind of echoes a little bit.
Ironic.
Huh.
Don't you think?
Like as if it goes through a hollow space and then comes out the other side.
Hey.
Hey. But as it rings back to you, it rings a falsehood.
I visibly look relieved all of a sudden.
It doesn't ring true.
Oh, it rings a falsehood.
It rings falsehood. So you had said
Yeah.
he was the enemy. No, I know. But
Yeah, you
then
are
I
the
was
enemy.
like, yeah,
We can't trust you, and it rings
It-
false. Yeah, I'm
yeah.
relieved.
yeah.
Okay.
I was to
I
say,
went through a whole
no. I
I
was
thought-
just
of me confusing myself. What the
I
hell?
thought he totally fucked my whole character alignment there, and I was like, oh god, okay, I'm gonna try to murder everyone now. Okay, let me just prep myself.
And smiling up at North. A lie. That wasn't true. I'm glad to know.
Just to
you're kind of like, what just happened?
to kind of, since really horrible dry humor is my way of settling tension, I probably would have had like projected my ghost behind him, like swords drawn, but then once I realized he's not gonna kill me or anything, I'll just have him kind of position like he was about to strike. I'll be like, stand down, and then gesture for him to look, and then kind of play along.
So my avarial eyes, as soon as you would have thrown the echo behind me, my eyes would have dilated.
He's just into an owl.
Well, no, I have the alert feat whenever.
Yeah, no. Yeah,
I can't be surprised.
My character, I'm not sure, has picked up on that. As of
Yeah.
yet, he
By the
probably
outcome
does
of that
now.
spell.
Yeah, so as
He
soon
probably
as you
does
threw
now,
it, I
yeah.
just kept like my eyes dilate and I cocked my head slightly.
Got the iguana eyes, or one of them like turns, and, like looks that way.
That's a chameleon.
Yeah, that.
Oh no. Anyway,
Bonus
continue.
attack.
Anyway, continue.
As a part of one of the gifts that I was given by Hirsonos. Hirsonos is a god of justice, but Hirsonos doesn't seek those who are guilty, but does seek out those who are innocent and accused to be released, such a thing. He tells me that the accusation that I made was not true. Kindred, bugger off.
Glad I could be.
I'm not doing anything.
I'm with Kindred on here. Sorry.
I got you. Go on.
I'm glad I could help.
Hope you take no offense.
No, I mean, I can't blame you. I mean, especially considering what all we've all been through the past few days. So,
Well, back to the group then. I believe food should be ready sometime soon.
after you, unless you're afraid I'll stab you in the back.
I knew it was there as soon as you put it. Behind me, that is. It's a little strange having your sword at my backside. And I start to walk off without giving any chance for a response.
Me and my Echo both kind of look at each other and then look back the way he came. And then he just dissipates and I move along.
All right. So, not Galil. Sonder, Iskra, Kindred, Ardrin. What are you guys doing in the burrow at the moment?
Watching them put the rod on the gun rack. I'm just gonna
In the
I wanna
back
go
of the
into
truck.
yes, with a flag. The Yearwood will rise again. No.
Oh no!
I was gonna make a Dixie reference, but you went further.
Yeah, you did good.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that
Anyway.
would hit home.
Yearwood great again.
Oh.
Wow.
I'll just go into Mal's real quick just to check on the animals, make sure they're all still alive and not being cooked.
Okay.
And
went to
You-
Provine University.
You go to Miles' site. And at first you're slightly startled. They're in the burrow.
Uh-oh.
There are several people that are standing around the animals, kneeling one after the other.
Oh god.
And from your line of sight, you count less animals than had arrived.
Do these people look like tattered, normal, wear
Make a
worn-down
perception
people?
check. Make a perception check.
If we just pulled into the Walking Dead type
Fight
shit,
music.
That'd be
like I'm the
funny-
governor. Okay, fuck me.
That'd be funny if they tried transforming him as a hard to turn into a real boy.
I thought about that. But he has, well, I don't know if I have to, he has instructions. If they try to dispel him, he comes back to me to let me know like what's going on. But I got an 8, and
Eight.
he doesn't get any bonus, so it's just flat 8.
You can see two, then three individuals of the from the cluster, and as they kind of were like crouching what looks like over one of the animals, they rise, and you recognize one of them as the elven man that is one of Vian's acolytes. He kind of like stretches his stretches his hands and fingers a little bit, and from the ground rises another human individual. And they have around their neck a collar, and they take it down. You can hear them speaking in Elvish.
What are they saying? No.
Well, I mean, yeah, they're just basically like, you're safe. You're home. We will see to your safety. We have prepared food. And you can see that between this acolyte and the couple other individuals, they are slowly going one to the next.
So then can I like make it obvious, like how Mal's will kind of like come out right in front of one of the elves, do like a circles and like a grand gesture and like bow, and then he just disappears and he comes back to me.
There's the briefest of moments where the one of the elves, a young woman, like looks over at the snake and just goes back to work. Like they already knew that the snake was there, but they just kind of but it disappears. A spider jumps on it. All right, so those of you who are in there, Iskra, Sandra, what are you guys doing?
I am going to. You want to play music? Or
Not really.
maybe meditate together?
Yeah.
we went.
Playing music is meditative for me anyway, so I think that'd be great. But outside, I think.
We could practice motor water forms.
That would be excellent too. I'm still pretty tired though. Maybe a little music first, and then in the morning we could train a little.
Sounds good. Yeah, I think I need to relocate my shoulder. Oh, there we go. Yeah. A couple other things.
Probably.
Well, Sonder, before anything else crazy happens and I have the capability to do so, would you mind coming here for a moment?
Yeah. Oh yeah, and then I'll hand you the stuff.
Oh no, it's a trap.
This time I'll kind of like put on a show and like do some extra magical shit, but really all I do is just kind of touch it and I'll cast Mystic's magic.
You
aura.
are really trying to throw up the magic.
I'm trying to be a mentor. No.
Yeah, to this girl. You're just like, look at all the magic I can do.
You get magic and you get magic.
Funny. That's what Arjun says when he's casting Eldritch Blast.
Oh no, that's great. I like that.
All right. I will say that unless there is anything else that you guys want to do,
I do
Go
just want to go through and sort through the books and papers and all that stuff that Renan and I stole when we were in the dungeon.
sure, you're not going to have too much time before you're called to eat,
I'm like,
but you can
brief
kind of
over
start
it.
briefly scanning through some of the documents.
It
One
is
of-
not stealing if the whole place has collapsed since then. It's
Right.
liberating.
Correct. Rediscovering, preserving. You're muted.
Reclamation.
No, he's got a point.
Yeah. Okay, so Kindred, as you are going over these things, you find one of the books is a ledger. In the ledger are names. It almost reads like the oh my gosh, what is the document of all the people who have come to America?
The burn book. Oh,
No, not that. The one where like it has a record of all the people who immigrated here.
Like the documents at Ellis Island.
Yes.
That had like
A registry.
A registry, yes. So it kind of reads like that. And it's a list of names and locations found. And I use that term loosely.
Oh, it's like
These
yellow
these
pages.
these are people who have been given to the Empire as tribute. And you go through pages upon pages upon pages upon pages of names with ages ranging from old to the very youngest.
Seeing what it is, I just kind of want to ask. The older girl is Nina.
No, she's the youngest. Nina's the youngest.
Okay, what was the older one's name? Let me see.
Hold on. I have,
Abby or something.
yeah, I think that's what it was. Becca. Her name is Becca now? Oh no. You want to ask me the one question? I don't have the paper in front of me.
I just want to ask her, like,
Becca. Yeah, that's what it is. Becca.
do you remember what your parents' names were? That way we can look for them.
My mom's name was Margaret. My father's name was Leomund.
I'm going to pay extra particular attention if I can, in case I read those names.
Okay. And you do. They are in one of the earlier entries, or one of the last entries, I should say. One of the last entries. And they have been sent already.
Are y'all, Sonder, Esker, are y'all still in the room when I'm kind of doing this?
Yeah.
Uh,
No,
Would have left.
no, they would have left to go play music. So
I'm still. in there.
Arjun's still in there.
Hey, you want to come take a look at this with me real quick? And I will gesture to you, and I'll
Yep.
point to their names.
They have been taken a week ago, or have been delivered a week ago.
Don't say anything else, but just kind of give you a look like.
You kind of would have been sort of standing over your shoulder, kind of looking down, and kind of just resist the urge to look over at them, and kind of just touches your shoulder, kind of an understanding, and doesn't say anything else.
And then I'll just keep going through the list and see, kind of holding it extra, like longer than I normally would to give you a chance to brief over it as well.
Yeah, this is going to be an ongoing endeavor. He'll just sit down instead of making this awkward.
Right. And we will do that then until dinner's ready.
Okay. Yeah, and it's probably within a couple of minutes that you guys are all brought together and here in that central space around the campfire. You do see that oh wait, nope, that is not the song that I was going for. Da, 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 da. Yeah. We'll go with this one. This is fine. You have several more people that had not been around. before. A couple of the half elves, a few humans, and one half orc woman. That they are all kind of been brought together. There is a large cauldron that has kind of been set up where it looks like a stew has been started to get worked on here in the central area of this little village, and you guys are provided with food and drink. You can see that the people who had been captured are now returned to their normal forms, are pretty easy, well, seem to be somewhat distinct from the rest in that they look a little dirtier, even though they are in silkies now as well. But, they have more of a ragged look to them than the ones who live here.
Oh, right. Archon would be wearing his normal clothes at this point. Also would have been from the silk, but it would have looked more like a sort of like long frock coat that's looks like a rose garden at night.
Ooh, nice.
That's the only way I can really describe it.
Yeah. So you have been working with Vianne in preparing the ingredients for this stew, and we're one of the first people up there to kind of help in preparing and cooking it. While you were there, she did talk to you about the things needed in case this ritual was to be performed. So she kind of goes over the details of like the things needed to be said, the things needed to be presented, etc. Just to kind of give you a heads up that she was going to ask for your help in case North decides. But the rest of the evening is kind of quiet, subdued. You get the lot of you are one by one are given heartfelt thanks from the people that you have rescued. And then closer towards the end of the meal, Vianne takes one of the wooden goblets that you guys have been using. And this like raises it in a toast to everyone. We appreciate the help that this group of brave individuals has done. Without your aid, undoubtedly our task would have failed. I have but one more favor to ask. If I may. Where are you intending to go next?
We are to move up the coast towards Thay and find more intelligence.
Into
Yeah.
danger, surely.
You're looking for a cemetery, to be exact.
A cemetery.
Graveyard.
I just want to study Vianne while everyone brings everything up.
Okay. A graveyard.
We are fighting against a known lich by the name of Amaranth. We have defeated her once before, but she has something that allows herself to be brought back.
It is a cruel mockery of a gift. And it is not one that is possessed solely by this Amaranth, but by many of those of high enough stature within the Empire. You seek her, or you seek a graveyard?
We seek a way to destroy it.
We think that it is there at that particular graveyard.
She looks over at North. And you? You don't strike me as one who has been traveling long with these individuals.
Very perceptive of you. My purpose is unknown as of far. Everything was kind of ripped away as of recently, so I'm in the air.
Perhaps we can get that sorted.
I chuckle slightly.
She looks over at Galil. And her eyes narrow, and she kind of walks a little closer. Your band of friends is quite interesting. From all walks of life.
Well, we don't discriminate here.
I meant no offense. I meant merely that you have several beings not from this plane. They resonate differently.
My eyes kind of dart from side to side.
Nice.
I momentarily make eye contact with this girl, like,
Same.
Oh yeah, Iskra and Redan. Yeah, that's true.
You say that out loud.
She looks over at Kindred. Some of you from this plane, but not belonging in the body you are in.
With
Yeah,
a little extra.
She looks over at Galil again. And you have a touch of divine to you,
Plain touched.
as well as something else. Life
Called attitude.
Life is interesting. She looks over at Oreo. Even creatures from the Feywild, I see.
Ooh, do me.
I am curious to hear your stories. But at the moment, I'm sure you are more than tired. Perhaps another time.
Perhaps.
I do want to know something from you, though.
Of course.
That village we saw you at. What happened to it?
She
What
smirks.
was the cause?
The watch? They took most. Not all.
And blamed you for it?
I have quickly found that many things are blamed on people and places that they do not understand.
Going back to that, the thought
Oh,
of that village near me,
Yeah.
static kind of fills the air a little bit.
Okay.
Get a water bottle.
So then why not reach out when I reached out to you?
I didn't know who you were.
Fair enough.
If you were in charge, if the tables were turned, would you have trusted me?
That's them.
For someone who can tell as much as you can about all of us, I'd argue yes. I probably would.
I know as much about you now because you've entered into my webs. I see through the eyes of all of my children. I have had time to watch you, to listen to you, to feel how you walk, to feel how you move. Everything sends vibrations. And it is with those vibrations that I am able to learn friend from foe. You hadn't entered into the webs then. You merely fought them off. I do concede I acted perhaps slightly more aggressively. But I have seen much suffering done at the hands of those who live outside the wood. I have seen plenty of suffering done at the hands of those who live within the wood. You know your
It
war
was-
is not the only one that is being waged now.
Oh no.
How many wars are there currently?
Currently here,
Carry the 2. Divide by
the material
Like
plane.
that much? What all happened while I'm gone?
The material plane has many conflicts. This one between the Empire and the rest of the world seems to be the largest. I am told that you are doing what you can for the opposition of the Empire, and for that, I am more than grateful. But this wood exists in two places at once. It is both here in the material plane, and it also exists in the Feywild. That is why you see that light outside. That is why, beyond the edges of this cluster, there are dangers that even I cannot control. Things spill in and out of this wood. And the Feywild itself suffers its own war.
I get a pretty large smirk and grin across my face. And
I think that she's talking about Nissa, do you? And Verity? Or
I actually hadn't thought about that.
We're in the Feywild, so.
Well,
Oh wait, you two are talking through the
It's-
freaking
yeah.
spice murmur.
yeah,
Damn
they
it.
are.
I'm not. Oh, yeah, I was talking out loud.
Okay.
oh, you're not okay.
No.
So,
Or
I look at Sonder. I will need that vial back from you since you didn't use it, but perhaps you could tell me, do you have any more of a... I'll reach in my bag and I will pull out my... Where'd it
give
go?
him a quick glance. Understanding.
The fuck is it? My face strength silver thornberry cutting ingredient. And can I show it to her? Do these grow here too then?
I assume so. Oh, trying to fix this. There you go. You could probably find it out in the woods.
It would be most helpful.
I would imagine. You are versed in the making of poultices and potions.
I can do everything else but heal magically, so learn what I can when I can.
Well, I will not keep you up any longer. I have asked what I wanted to know, confirmed my suspicions. Thank you for bringing these people this far. We will see to their transportation
Have
to a
they more or
safer
less
place.
said like where they want to go, or some just kind of like, I don't, whatever.
Nobody. I mean, they haven't said anything. They've the only. You mean the prisoners themselves?
Yeah,
They've only
ones that
come
were
by
rescued.
and they've only come by and said thank you.
Okay.
Where they are being sent off to has not been brought up yet.
After dinner, I want to go to Galil then. off to the. Can we talk somewhere?
Well, okay, we'll get to that in a second.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. You were gonna say something?
To pipe up.
Yeah.
About your toast, though. Don't toast us. Toast the fallen. Toast to continuing the fight. We didn't do as much as we could have.
You did everything you could have. Do not sell yourself short. The enemies you face are extremely powerful, and they have done many horrible things. She looks over at North, and then looks over at Kindred. We can see the scars they left on the natural order of things all around you. Believe me, they have done terrible things. The fact that any survived at all is more than a miracle in my eyes. But yes, you are correct. We will honor those who have fallen and hope that whatever you decide to do next has the blessings of the deities that you follow. And she looks over at Galil. She raises the glass. and drinks.
To Bahamut.
I do have a question for you.
Of course.
Hey, so he takes out his necklace. It's that one, the Elmaz necklace.
Okay.
We came across this at that village nearby the forest that was taken over. Does it belong to one of you or your people?
She kind of looks around at some of the others who are sitting there. It's not like everyone's attention's kind of on you guys, but they're also kind of like separated as well. They're all kind of like in this large circle. So she kind of looks at some of the others and walks over to you, Soul, picks it up and looks it over. It belonged to an acolyte of mine. But they are no longer amongst us.
So this one has passed on?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, then this might also help as I look at Ardrin and I pull out the papers of the ledger and I just kind of slide it onto the table forward.
What is that?
A record of their sins.
Let's say is a little girl like with us right at the table.
Not at the table necessarily, but around. She's not not really paying attention. Her and her sister are eating at the moment.
I'll just tell her it's a list.
No, I'm afraid this particular acolyte has died. Executed. Actually. But I would not mind it as a totem. Something to remember her by. You can see just a little bit of a tear at the corner of the woman's eyes. Pause for a second as we... Hello, Workers' Union. And thank you for joining us. Good to see you all. Great timing. She, like, you see that briefest moment of the strength that she has to her kind of crumble a little bit. before it like solidifies once again. It will be a good thing to put that memory to rest, in a sense, but also to keep on remembering. It is for others like my daughter and those others we have lost that I keep doing what I do now.
We can say much of the same for those good that we have lost along the way.
Have you all lost many in this fight against the Empire?
Some too young. Some that never got the chance to prove themselves.
We did at least get the one back. And he points to Galil.
That's true.
What did happen to you, by the way? Afra was very worried.
Your skin looks great. Did you get a facial?
I love you, Sander.
Always knows how to break the ice.
Like you
Wow.
spent a lot of time somewhere really
Inspiration.
humid.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Your pores are non-existent. I guess that's a.
I'm done with all of you.
ASMR thing. It's glistening. What did happen to you?
All I know is I went asleep on the boat. And the next thing I know, I was waking up on a beach.
Let's go to the
Dehydrated.
beach.
Weak. And somehow in the land of the Demogorgon.
So
double take
not
it, you
the
like-
south shore of the Sea of Fallen Stars, then.
That's correct.
You can see Vian kind of tilt her head to the side like, oh.
What's Demogorgon?
It's wise to not say that name, Soul. Me and Aliquin, we had a code word for it. Instead, we would say hentai.
What is
Okay.
hentai?
That's the code word for that name.
Vian like shakes her head slowly.
That is a type
Do-
of, not
By not saying his name, it is nearly as bad as saying his name. You give him more power and deify him in that sense.
The Demogorgon?
Do not fear his name. Yes, a demon prince of the abyss.
Oh,
A powerful, evil creature.
okay. I don't think I will say the name.
Looking up,
Respect the name, but do not fear it.
this was
I look at Galil. Well, at least we've got you back, and however you made it out, glad you did.
It was actually thanks to some friends.
You have friends in the abyss. It's a little
No.
concerning.
Not really. I had friends in Limbo.
They
That,
actually
that doesn't
traveled.
surprise anyone from the bit.
They actually
Still
traveled
kind of-
there to save me. Pigug, Sybil, and Martel, and someone named Gruff.
Oh, the one who made the ship. Oh,
I think so.
cool.
Okay, because I know Pigug didn't learn powerful magic to transport to another plane of existence.
No, they had the sisters help.
I knew we could count on them.
That's quite a favor.
That remains to be seen. So,
Well, they got us Galil back, so I think I'll take what we can from that situation.
I prayed for you every day.
Well, it is truly a miracle that you returned at all, then. She looks at Galil. Not very many can say they have friends who would seek them to the ends of the earth, much less to the ends of one plane and into the other.
Wait, so how did you get to that scary beach in your dream?
I don't know. All I know is someone sent me there.
I just
Soul, that's a kindred.
under the table. I'm pointing at you, and I message. It wasn't him, was it? Did he betray you?
I hope not.
Just give the slightest of nods.
But while I was there, I felt so out of touch with everything.
I tried scrying on you, and I couldn't reach, so I knew you were. Well, I knew there were two outcomes, and one of them I didn't like.
I honestly thought you died.
Would
I
you be
always
able to
believe-
scry on the dead, though? Still see something.
Your
Mm-mm.
grandmother, possibly.
It could be different for you. I don't know how your magic works, but
I don't scry.
Your grandmother possibly talked to us while we were in Valtalar.
Oh,
About you.
yeah. Your grandmother is the moon, right? Something like that.
You see Vienne do the same reaction again, just like
Grandmother
We're
got
not just
turned
kind
into
of,
the
just
moon.
kind of like, don't.
That's
I
enough.
look over at Renan again.
Your grandma is Saloon?
Yes. the moon.
Yeah.
that would explain the divinity that I felt in you then. Just kind of like, still like processing everything.
My mother is one of her shards.
That's rough, buddy.
Oh,
You have no idea. I rarely, and I mean rarely, see her. And even then, she takes a different form every time. But I know when it's her.
Vienne turns slowly to Ardrin. And you found them in the castle?
To be fair, I found that one flying around the castle, and then he let us board the ship and got us out of there.
You never know who
By
you
the
might
way-
meet.
I'm Galil.
Vienne. Oh, you were telling Ardrin?
Yeah? No, I'm talking
Oh.
to Vianne.
Okay. I was like, oh, that
And
awkward moment. You were like,
you
oh
know
wait, no,
why I
not
did
me.
that too.
Yes. She reaches out and hesitantly like takes your hand and then places another one over the top of it as well. And in that moment, you feel
Exciting, girl.
neither one side or the other. You sense a true neutral personality. And she like, a pleasure to meet you. I'm speechless, I suppose. I don't know exactly what one says to grandchildren of deities amongst those from... I suppose I have met people from other planes, but I'm still curious to hear the stories of you and you. She looks between Iskra and Renan. Perhaps another time.
That would be best too, because this conversation it got awkward for a little while.
I have a feeling
I
that
wonder
before
why.
I have a feeling that before the night is done, things will hopefully get better. I made an off.
If it makes you feel better, I'm no god.
I didn't.
Sure.
I wasn't blessed that way.
She smiles, and I am certain. I suppose, in thanks, now that I have been blessed with your candor, I give you permission when you need refuge. You are welcome in the cluster.
Thank you.
I also offer. She hesitates a little bit. I have offered to aid that one. She kind of nods towards north. And reclaiming his body in its entirety. And then she turns to Kindred.
Mhm.
And the invitation is extended to you as well.
What?
It is a lot to consider, considering that you are completely changed into someone else. But that choice was taken from you before, and now it is given to you freely. These druids of the sand have aligned themselves to individuals who do not understand what they do to the natural order of things. You have brought to me pieces of a puzzle that have plagued the back of mine and many of my, she looks to kindred spirits within the circles of the druids. Someone was aiding in the creation of these armies for the Empire. No amount of hobgoblins would ever have voluntarily aligned themselves to the Empire, not with what all they do. Yet there were hundreds upon thousands upon millions of them. And people across the realms were disappearing. And no one knew where. Now that we know that these druids of the sands are involved, we have an idea of the perversion of magic that they were using to create these armies. This reincarnation is supposed to be a gift, a prolonging of life from one deserving individual to another life, hoping to extend that blessing. It was not meant to be meddling in that way. And I apologize to you, she looks at Kindred, that it was used on you against your will. You are free to choose whether you wish to stay as you are now. But I want to offer you this choice. It is the least I can do for a group such as yours. And I have a feeling that with whatever you are going to face, wherever you are going next, you will need all the friends you can get. So I avail myself to you in your rebellion. Wherever I can help, I will do so.
And the invitation also goes out for you to our place, Atet. Is that okay? And I let Carp speak through me.
Oh.
Because of the Oracle.
No.
because I've been broadcasting all of this whole entire conversation.
Is that what you were
cosmic
doing?
power.
Is that what this was?
That's what this was.
So this side is
He's actually going to speak through me.
Oh.
This side means a migraine. This side.
Yeah, this just means, oh my god. But this.
Nice.
I mean, rent is going up. It's kind of popular lately.
Oh my goodness.
Let me tell you about timeshares. No.
Oh no.
But while he's doing that, I am actually already writing down the sigil sequence for the teleportation circle and attack.
Okay.
So if he has any message to actually say as well, he speaks freely.
From what point did you start this conversation?
All the way at the beginning when she offered the the safe haven to us.
Okay. You see here.
And it will go out to. It delivers the message translated into any language I speak.
Okay.
So that's Celestial, Common, Deep Speech, Guri, Infernal, Primordial, and Sylvan.
You say furry?
That's what I heard.
Infernal, Guri.
Guri, his tribe's tongue.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's a brief moment where Galil's eyes kind of flash and they become dark circles in its very center with rings of fire that kind of burn around the outside. And as Galil speaks, those of you familiar with Afriel hear his voice, even though it booms and crackles and radiates differently than you've heard it before. You're more than welcome within the halls of Atet. I am Afriel, son of Saloon and Lathander. We fight against the Empire to end their reign in this brigade I have sent on this task of ultimate importance. Your work is important where you are, but you are welcome in Atet. And that burning fire within Galil's eyes fades away. And you know what you have just said, but it feels like you've been it feels like you've been holding your breath that entire time, and now you're like your lungs burn to fill with your own oxygen, as it were. And you see Vigenne's face is just like blown away. Not like it's gone, but as in she's surprised.
It's gone.
She's she just nods and doesn't say anything.
At this point, I'm finished writing the sigil, and I just stand up, and you can, don't want to admit it, but there's maybe like a tear or two kind of running down my face, and I just hand her the paper and then go take the little girls and we'll head to bed.
Okay. What about the rest of you?
This food was amazing.
She smiles. I appreciate the compliment.
I slightly bow. Thank you for the hospitality. I'm going to go to bed, if that's okay.
Get some rest.
And thank you for the clothes. It's very smooth. It feels really good.
I am glad that we could have something that was close enough to fitting you.
And I'm terribly sorry for having to cut the back out of mine.
We weren't expecting winged individuals, but in the future, we will make sure to have some on hand.
Appreciated, but perhaps not necessary. Your hospitality has been spectacular. I thank you.
She bows. Who else remains?
I'll sit up near the fire for a little while.
Okay.
Yeah, Arden will hang out for a while. And if it's just companionable silence.
Okay.
I think I'll do the same.
I'm going to go to, what was her name? Vienne.
Vienne?
And ask her to come with me to the gate. Or at least where we came in the opening.
Okay. She nods and walks with you.
Oh, I'd like to make a little small talk. It doesn't have to be role played, but with the former prisoners.
Okay.
And just like figuring out where they came from, and what their names are, and those sorts of things. What they want to do next.
Make a charisma check for me. With advantage because you are their savior.
I was gonna do after dinner, but my plans got railroaded.
Okay, that's a artificial 20, synthetic 20.
Nice. Most of them have come from the northern coasts of Algorand, different fishing villages, a few from Veltalar itself. As far as where they want to go next, they are unsure. In speaking with the inhabitants of the cluster, they have been told that they will be taken to a city to the south of the Yorwood, Lothkund. There they will be taken on a boat further south into what is Chesentha, a country that is south of the Algorandian Peninsula. And from there they can seek asylum with friends of the Yorwood or make their own new path, but they are not going to be returning home.
And not.
Why not?
Certainly not.
Oh yeah. What else did you ask? It was like where they were from and what they were wanting to do next, kind of thing.
Yeah, like those sorts of things, what their names were, what
Yeah.
their lives were like before, if they knew that they were magic users.
Mother's maiden name. Social Security.
Most of them
Social
did.
Security.
Name
Most-
of your first pet.
Most of them did know who
OnlyFans account?
that they had to some degree some magical ability, and they used it in their everyday lives. It wasn't like they were studying mages, but they used it in small ways. But it was noticed and reported, and they were taken in. Some of them went willingly, some of them put more of a fight and were taken like SWAT style by the watch. Some of them had left individuals back at the castle, but were grateful for the opportunity to continue to live.
I want to let them know that if there are any who want to try to fight against, it doesn't have to be in combat. There's probably a way they could help back at the city. And we're always taking more people in. I bet we could make that happen.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh, a 25.
Natural 10.
Almost. It's a 19 on the dice.
Nice.
I think there were, not counting the girls, there were 7, right?
8.
That had 8 that had gone with.
Total of
Fu-
12.
Ugh.
That's true.
Yep.
12 survived.
6 of them agree to return to Atet. Or to go to Atet.
Look at you, Iskra. Little Jehovah's Witness.
Oh,
Would you like to buy a clock tower?
Would you like to buy a clock tower?
You like to buy a sundial?
I
Oh,
kind
no.
of start talking about the city to them, you know. Oh, and Atet's not just a place, she's a person too. I start talking about Atet the person as well.
Nice. North. With Vienne walking with you, she puts a hand on your shoulder for a little bit as you walk to the edges of the entrance there. What would you like to say?
I'll just kind of look to her and say, "Don't be alarmed. This will help me make my decision." And then I kind of look forward towards the gate that I presume is closed.
There's no door.
Oh, it's just like a open trail.
It's basically the trail leads out and it's just like an opening of that's kind of like set between 2 trees where the webbing
like an
kind of like an archway. The webbing just kind of wraps around the trees and creates like a little bit of a tunnel that you can like exit the web wall from.
Then I will kind of sit down, crisscross applesauce, and make my avatar appear next to me. And then I'll blip it out as far as I can away from me and then just start moving with it. Not like too slow, but not like running. And just let it get to darkness. And I'm going to be using my my Echo avatar as the 1,000 feet of movement. So
Okay.
he'll have my conscience for about 10 minutes. I'm just going to walk. And then about 5 minutes in, I'm presuming I get to about darkness in the forest.
You find that there's
Like besides the natural glow.
Feywild is nice
yeah,
and
yeah,
things
it's
glow.
constant. There is not a like it's dark, but it's not ever like pitch black.
No, yeah.
Okay, then yeah,
Just to where.
let's go as far out as you can.
And then from there, I will go crisscross applesauce again. And then flip out. Like transport, knowing that I'll have to walk back. And from there, I'll spies murmur Renan and ask him, "I noticed you doing something up on the tree earlier. I noticed you've done a few things in combat. Do you pray to someone?"
Are you even in range out in the forest by yourself?
Well, isn't
It's
the
within a
spies murmur
mile.
like
1,000. Yeah, it's 1,000 feet, right?
And
You're-
he walks
yeah.
on.
well within?
Yeah,
Yeah, within a mile. Ursonos guides my hand. God of the wind. Why do you ask?
I've been trying to find, I guess, myself. And I've been looking for help while doing that. So I guess anybody. But how did you get them to answer?
Ursonos found me in a moment when my life was not what it needed to be. He's a god of freedom, and I wasn't free. He released me. Perhaps if you reach out with such a need, and something hopefully good for you, may answer back.
Thank you. That's it.
My friend.
Aw.
So
I remain silent, unknowing what to say. But from there, I'll just kind of sit in silence and just meditate for a few minutes with the sounds of this weird Feywild, since it is, as she said, not necessarily of this plane, so it feels completely new to me, which is like everything else so far for the last few moments of my life. So I'm just gonna take it all in before I get up and then walk back through the tunnel back to the woman.
meanwhile, Vienna's just going like, "What is happening?" She's just standing there like, "What did
She's a
you?"
wise woman. She'll figure it out.
She walks away. If you don't talk to her, she
Just
walks
like
away.
that-
She's just
that
like,
gif,
you disappear,
that
and you're just
NPC.
like, "What?"
Well,
Are
if you're
you-
throwing
are
the
you okay?
echo and like you're sitting meditating, right?
But then he like poofed to
Well,
it.
I mean,
and then
she
went-
saw my echo walk away and then poof. So I guess she thinks I was just a ding dong bitch.
Probably.
You walked me
She's-
all the way out here just to leave. You know,
So she
I mean,
can
your
know that
echo can
Galil is
go-
divine. She can know that everything, and then this is
Well,
just.
no, if you're just sitting there
I've never
meditating,
been
then you
called
didn't
about
go
my car's
anywhere.
warranty.
no,
No,
well,
because
it's just
I couldn't
I was
have
just,
talked to you.
right.
with
I was
my
just
avatar.
curious
Well,
what
It's only
you
my
were,
touch and.
right. I was just curious what you wanted her there for, because then if you left 1,000 feet away and then left her there at the entrance, she was like waiting to see what happens, and then you sat down and did that thing.
Because
she
it was
watch
only
your-
because it was less than like the 10 minutes it takes for my avatar to be up. Because I only left a little bit out the tunnel, but just far enough away to where I could just be.
She probably at
Immersed.
least would have asked you what it is that you were doing.
He feels the vibe.
I'm sure I would have told her like, "I'll be right back," and then she would
Okay,
have
well,
seen my avatar
in that
scoodle.
in that case, then yes, she may have stayed. But you can't just leave someone like. You have to say that you did that, because otherwise she's just gonna. To me, you didn't say anything, so I just assumed that you didn't, and then just left. And I was just like, she's
Well,
just
I'm
like,
assumed she's some sort of a god. She knows everything about us, and we've never met the lady.
she literally said she has spies. She has seen things and heard everybody speaking to each other. That is why she knew everything.
Oh, like she can feel the echoes, like of me walking away.
No, as okay.
figuratively.
Mm.
She has a great network of spies. She keeps tabs on
Yeah.
all of us.
Yeah,
she's,
yeah.
She's got us wiretapped 24/7 under surveillance.
Exactly. So she knows. She knows. Anyway.
She was number one.
So then she waits
So
for you
is
to
she there
return,
now?
and then
Okay.
she kind of looks slightly impatient, like, "Yes, what did you need me for?"
I've made my decision. I'm ready to start again.
Perhaps we should start with clearing some of the cobwebs first. And she reaches up and brushes a hand through your hair across the side of your head. And in that moment, you feel like a singular crackle of energy surge through your mind. It's almost as if there was like when you see lightning that blooms within inside of a cloud and it kind of crackles around the outside, but you can see it light up the inside of the cloud. That, but inside your mind. And your memories come flooding back to you.
Oh shit!
Oh
She did
my
not
god.
do that softly.
That's a little harsh.
You
the old
see
ticker.
flashes of your childhood with your grandmother. You see, and these are happening like filling in the blanks, like you see joining the military. You see you being found for having a knack of a talent that you didn't know you had. You could always seem to be in more places at once. You were deemed to be just quick before the councilman deemed otherwise. You joined a special squad that was going to be sent to train, taught to use your latent magical abilities. You remember being sent off into the depths of the Empire, crossing vast amounts of sands and seeing all sorts of wild and twisted things before you remember waking in a dark, dungeon-like room. Figureheads of snakes hanging from the ceiling, and your body having been cast aside as defective and useless. Yet you couldn't move. You couldn't do anything but stare out at the darkness as your body was piled high into a cart and rolled out of this place. And through some sheer force of will, your body, you were able to move yourself to where you fell off that cart. And you wandered for days in that desert, finding some sort of way home, some way back to where you felt like you belonged, but your memories then were clouded, and you remember them being clouded. You have seen the home of where these Druids of the Sand are. You have seen a way in and out of the Great Wall that divides Thay and Algorand. You know how to get in to the depths of the Empire. And with that, we end tonight.
Wait, I have one quick thing. So
What?
after tucking both girls into bed, just to kind of get my mind off and something light, I would like to, in my bed, pull out my orb, and I want to try to scry on Twiggy.
Why didn't you do that before?
What are we gonna go back? Ah, we missed someone. Where are you, Twiggy, Twiggy, Twiggy?
He's like that Japanese dog that sat in the same spot waiting for.
No! Little did he know, he's actually a lich.
Twiggy
Gee.
shapeshifts into Amaranth.
No!
You
Let's
want?
go.
Go ahead.
Unacceptable.
I mean, yeah, I guess you could. I mean, it says a creature, right? So it doesn't necessarily have to be a person. It's like a creature or a place.
Let's see the wording.
I mean, by definition, people
Yeah.
are creatures. So
Got a point.
And as far as like going into a long rest, which would have been next goal,
Yeah.
while meditating, I am in Celestial beseeching the Karamor, which is the pantheon of my pantheon of Hirsonos. I'm beseeching them to guide our hands.
Okay.
I beseech thee.
Yeah, targeting creatures.
Okay. So as long as it says creatures, I just wanted to make sure. So make a roll, or I make the roll. Sorry.
Yeah. He would get -5 since I'm somewhat familiar with him.
Well,
don't have
I rolled a
anything of him.
1.
Ugh, Twiggy's mine.
I guess
Dead.
we'll find out what you.
Roadkill.
I
Is
have
Twiggy
the
hiding under,
mind
like, a
of just
drainage ditch?
wanting to wait until next week for this because I just want to torture you so bad.
Absolutely. First thing next session is what happened to Twiggy, and we leave it here.
So I was gonna ask if anyone wants to snuggle with him tonight because of the nice feeling silk that they're wearing.
Oh my gosh.
But then the puppy spiders tackle him and start playing with him.
Oh,
The puppy
He
spiders.
wakes.
See, I'm over here looking for Twiggy, and you just replace him.
Oh, oh shit.
I'm just
Twiggy.
like, what did I come back to?
Yeah.
Oh wait. Oh, you don't
is
know
free.
Twiggy.
We lost.
Oh,
We
yeah.
lost Soul's raccoon.
Didn't belong to Soul. It was just a friend.
No, but I got him.
That's true.
Okay, so Twiggy is head deep in a pile of trash.
Oh, okay.
Dead.
But do you see
Yeah.
where? He's in the abyss.
You just see a pile of trash that he is currently like.
Oh, Twiggy, don't eat that
Deep
one.
in the
That one's
trash heap of someone's chest cavity.
He's in raccoon heaven.
Oh
He's in
no!
raccoon heaven. He's just chowing away at the endless abundance of trash.
He's
Oh.
living his best raccoon life.
Don't eat that one. That one's. Oh.
And on
That
that
one's
note,
Looks like a
Oozing.
cackling Stitch.
and on that note, we end for tonight. Oh my god.
fine.
Wild animals. We have a lot to do next week. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Well, that was cool. Sorry that, we missed like 30 minutes worth of playtime there, but
That's okay. We found Twiggy. All is good.
you're like, that's all I
Twiggy is
needed.
alive.
Twiggy confirmed alive. Oh my gosh. But
The
where
next
it
miniseries.
was
Twiggy
find
and friends.
Wiggy and friends. Twiggy, Wiggy, and Piggy. They find like a
Piggy.
what is it? One of those like miniature pigs.
He's like on his own version of Homeward Bound.
Oh,
Oh my god.
Or he's part of like
Dog
another
stroll.
druid circle that's
Yeah.
like main focus is to keep checks and balances of all the other druids, make sure they're following moral guidelines. So it's just
Right.
like Agent Twiggy.
Agent
Hey, where's Twiggy?
A micro pig wearing rain booties.
All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We look forward to more lovely craziness.
And Sandra's just looking forward. No.
Oh my god, Sandra's looking amazing. Look at you with your glasses-free self.
I got
Seeing,
LASIK.
seeing
But
all
you
of
know
us.
what? When it comes to have cataract surgery, your eyes are fucked.
I
Well,
asked him about it, and they said it should be okay.
No,
And I
it's
had
not.
healthy
The
eyes.
calculations are all wrong. We don't know how to do it. We're guessing when it comes to the calculations to correct for cataract surgery now. So stay humble. No.
stay humble.
Stay humble.
Alrighty, guys. Well, it was a pleasure as always. So Twiggy is the brigade's unofficial mascot. Well, I mean, I felt like Oreo was the
Twiggy
unofficial
is a pet
mascot.
that was not taken care of and
I
got
thought it was
out.
a goat.
The goat. Oh yeah, no, you're right. The goats. I keep trying to forget the goats. TBH.
You know, I'm
Rest
right
in
there
peace,
with
Goatsy.
Yeah,
Rest
I'm
in
sure you will be
pieces.
seen again. Rest in pieces. Yeah, that too. All right, guys. I can't think if we had any major announcements. Those of you, I think pretty much everyone who is watching right now. I think we have a couple of people still in there, but for the most part, all of you already know about our social medias. But if you aren't aware, I think I just did socials. I think maybe not. Maybe it just did social. Yeah, there it is. Yes.
And our YouTube, where's that at? Great.
Oh yeah, that's just YouTube.
All my hard work. No.
Oh, all my hard work. There's the YouTube. You can see past episodes of our campaign and the mini series, plus lore dumplings, which we might have
in
some
our-
more of that coming up soon.
In our main campaign, we have like 53 episodes out now.
Wow. Well, yeah, that makes sense. We are past a year now of streaming, so
It's funny to
Are we
see
gonna-
like the progression of our stream.
yeah,
We're gonna tell
yeah.
them about the possible day one.
Well, no. But we are working. Me and Sandra are working on the next miniseries. So stay tuned for more information on that, because that has some excitement coming up.
Once again,
Stay
too
tuned
spicy
for
for the pepper.
yeah.
Going on 3 years too. Next
Yeah,
month.
well, next month will be our 3-year anniversary. Wild.
It's crazy.
I know. Time flies when you're having fun and playing D&D. I feel like weeks go by.
Studying magic and listening to Megan Thee Stallion.
Making these stuff.
Megan the Stallion, literally a centaur in the realm of Faerun that has a traveling centaur bard.
And Beyonce.
The Stallion.
Megan the Stallion. Oh my god, of course.
First album is called Horsepower.
Second one is Dark Horse.
Oh no.
No, that's Horse Perry.
Third one is Horse.
Once again, thank you, Ardrin and Graham, for hanging out with us. I'm loving having you here on this continued journey. And we will see you next time. So, bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Hey, everybody.
Salutations.